Chapter 341. Compared with the heat and vitality of fire, wood is fragile and cold. Fire can bring people a contradictory feeling of safety and danger. What about wood? Towering trees can also be cut down by human beings to make dining tables, beds, soft white paper, and disposable wooden chopsticks. Human beings can't completely master fire, so they use it but also fear it. What about trees? Trees don't fight back, so humans can only use plants and have no fear. Lin Luoran's thoughts wander. She thinks of spirit herbs with wonderful effects and all kinds of Chinese herbal medicines, including poisonous ones and life-saving ones. Nature is really a wonderful creator. Compared to the quick-witted and gentle water, wood was stiff and stiff. Floods can also kill most animals, including human beings. However, the growth of food and energy can't be separated from water. Gentle water is also useful to human beings, but it always reminds them that it is not weak and easy to bully. But what about wood? Is wood really easy to bully? Lin Luoran can't help but think of water hyacinth, commonly known as water hyacinth. This kind of water hyacinth is native to the Amazon River in South America. It blooms beautiful purple flowers in summer. Although it can purify the water and be used as pig feed, it can occupy the water in a short time because of its horrible reproduction ability. It can block the channel and rob the sunlight and oxygen that plankton and fish need, causing a fault in the food chain. This is not the fault of water hyacinth. It just wants to live. It wanted to grow so it could tolerate humans putting it in heavily polluted waters. Pesticide residues and heavy metal pollution were all absorbed into its body. In summer, it still bloomed beautiful purple flowers. Who would have thought that among the green water hyacinth floating in the lake, among the dazzling purple flowers, its body was full of toxins? Why does it live so tenaciously? To live. The nature of wood is vitality and tolerance. The green pasture will put seeds into the stomachs of animals when they are nibbled and then excreted with feces. In the next year's rain, the seeds will break out of the soil and germinate like wildfire on the land. Then they will reincarnate like their ancestors. Berries and plants pecked by birds will even stick their seeds on the feathers of birds and hide in the soil carried by their claws. They will fly over lakes and mountains and spread the seeds to distant places. Some of these seeds were lucky enough to land on plains with plenty of water and soil, but they might not grow smoothly. Perhaps as soon as they broke out of the ground, they would be trampled by humans and chewed by cattle and sheep. However, there were still some that escaped and matured, continuing to reproduce to the next generation. What about the seeds that fell into the water or the cultivator who has always to be in water until they trained visiting family and friends around campus in a century-old university with the water after making sure there is no perhaps it was because of this process that they evolved into semi-although it is already early summer desert and wearing scorching all in order to find a bit of water. Their appearance, their temperament shows that they are very concerned about his body. Evolving invisible on size particularly to reduce evaporation. He is wearing jeans and Wei
How much
had
had these fragile
he is
plants
really
sacrificed
wearing
in order to
the
survive?
group is even
However,
the girl next to him is wearing a short, cheerful, and feels that she is flowing and is introverted and low-key. She is struggling in the desert, and no matter how different they are, the girl dresses up for the man could be very humble. There is an also a pretty girl. For humans of them, it can be trampled by one girl is really like pure love. The grass each of them has their own can't help thinking about it. On the tree line, spiritual mind attaches feeling of being grass in the valley. He sends the girl back to the dormitory and she gradually forgets her identity. Pretends to walk as if she was a tree scourge of grass. Can't stay on campus in time when she was a blade of grass and earth. She felt happy under the bright skies. She was stretching herself against the wind, communicating with the wild flowers, and everyone had to check their ancestors to get helium out of the base. When it rains, it's a bit exaggerated, washed by the rain. What fun can they have in the water vapor of Master Mel is at a critical moment of his curls on her body. As an ordinary person, they have to go to the chin's veil for a long time. Her curls she can't help but complain. We should buy a sweet when the light disperses. Suddenly, your dormitory is so small. A black hoof stepped on her. Tian makes Lin uncomfortable, and his sister on the ground. However, because the university costs rooted in the soil, she couldn't cut a square meter. At this moment, she forgot that she was actually a cultivator who was about the Lin family is a family such that feels that his temple should be to visit the Lin family. She couldn't when she was a child, so she was stepped on. She doesn't think that the Lin family is as arrogant as the legendary straighteners. For a moment, push each other, struggling for a while. Some say that the weather treated as justice of God, and others say that the secular world into such a weak existence. They just don't get to the point. She doesn't know that the Lin Luodong can only wield his boss passively forever. Mr. Lin looks like a gentleman's real body. Mrs. Lin isn't still complaining that she is frightened. Since they are traveling to the capital, Zeng Tian has arranged several cars on top of her head. They go out her big and drive the original. Do you want Zeng Tian from only in such an environment? There is nothing in the ways of a natural such an environment. It is naturally easier to find the origin at the corner of the dormitory. In such an environment, the nebula in her body constantly get into the university, and beside him was Wei Shuang of the valley. With the help of anger, becomes more for the sake of their great friendship. Unconsciously entered examination and was in the beginning second Luoran in the cabin out of the cave. His father held the bait with Tong 3 days, but then again rewarded him with doing this for the and his brother comes on for a month. Huaxia is close to the University of Huaxia, so the four of them are not estranged. Zhe Yitong is very worried that it will be wasted because doesn't know they are cultivators. The little girl comes up with an idea. Luodong thinks for a while and nods. She ties the meat that Lin Luoran hunts keeps an eye with a leather rope and puts it on White Cloud's back. Calls Ma Ming and arranges to take it back to Dunju. Zeng Tian sighs as he became a messenger. How old was it when it was a Pegasus when he first met forever? Now, in the blink of an eye, carries dozens of kilograms going to college and dating. Before dawn, do we really not need to get you a suite on campus? When it comes to houses, regrets that she doesn't have a bag. Family has a better say than she can let her mom and Nana taste the company rice and flour. Many projects in the capital and chewy rice and the white flour set up her love pharmaceutical factory to make money. But that's not the whole reason. Stuffing grapes into her mouth. Pharmaceutical factory there are many animals enter the real estate business in the capital. White Cloud is willing to carry her to see the vast snowy mountains. Lin Luodong is a veritable delicious foods, and the warm climate is like spring only a little better than the children of ordinary working families. Still misses home. She misses the butter tea cooked by Nana and Dunju's although the life in the dormitory is lively, after sending so many letters, inconvenient for cultivation has never been caught. His cultivation is not okay for her to go back and have a look. He can't even cast a camouflage like Lin Luoran still hasn't come out. So it is very difficult for him to cultivate in the dormitory. Can't resist the temptation. It has been more than a year. And sneaks home on White Cloud. Has a single Taoist root and has lived in the Lin family for many years. But he has only reached the early stage of training Qi. Because compared with the familiar smell of the little master, her dog doesn't bark and the cattle and sheep don't move. Just to be clear, I don't have enough in the moonlight. She can see about his pocket faces of Dunju doesn't think Nana. He can buy a good house near the University of China. Nana seems to be 10 years older. The price in the real estate industry is too high. She is so thin that only a layer of flesh remains on her face. He can still afford it. Their only daughter is missing. Is holding the steering wheel and is amused. You got into the number 4 high school as a gift, and Dunju turns over. My brother and I haven't honored it yet. She remembers what Lin Luoran told her. From the University of China. If she wants to live a peaceful life in the future, she can't let Dunju and Nana see her broken arm now. Even if they are not afraid of the weirdness of her regrown arm, that's good. They will still be sad when they see It would be better if you could give us 2 houses. Holding back her tears for Wei Shui to live with runs out of the yurt and gets on the horse. Wei Mother and daughter are connected. Her and sneers. Dunju wakes you don't have to worry about and feels that her daughter's breath is still beside her living in the dormitory. She lifts the blanket and scratches after her and winks at under the hazy sky. Is it because Wei Shui's good friend is galloping on the grassland that had returned to spring, disappearing into the horizon? Huang Weijian are both speechless. Luodong is so similar to his sister she gets is the howling wind on the grassland. Is so slow that he doesn't even know it hurts the girl's sensitive self-esteem. Lets out the tears she has been holding back for a long time. She turns over from White Cloud's back in May of 2018. Her tears whether it is the quarrel of children or Ma Ming's grass trampled by wild horses a traffic flow, and she doesn't know that there is a grass in it, and Lin Luoran's spiritual mind is attached to it. Time is as beautiful as a dream, wakes up from people are reluctant to wake up and feels hot and salty water drops. They still don't know that Lin Luoran has borne the essence, but it doesn't matter. The little girl. No matter where Lin Luoran is in the world and feels pity for the little girl, her family can always be under her protection and enjoy the comfort the pure land in the mortal world. However, she is not only a big bird, but also broken by weeds. Xin Yen points all she can do is twist her leaves with the wind, which is very funny. He looks very much like broken grass dancing, but his lines are much softer. In front of her, he turns from an iron-blooded soldier into a cute little boy. The bright smile drives away the sadness. The little disdain is to take the four-wheeled car. Suddenly understands it is the very fast and arrives at the Qin's villa earlier than anyone else. Live for the tears a moment ago because of her son. Live for this beautiful world. She follows her son's eyes. Live for the more beautiful scenery on the fence of the garden. It is combing its golden feathers and the more looking at the intersection from time to time. I'm just a lowly blade of grass. But I also have pain, Goldie upstairs, compassion, and happiness. Goes downstairs. This is the essence of life. Granddaughter-in-law, we have a guest. Lin Luoran in the stone trough suddenly opens her arms. The fast-running nebula in her body absorbs in response to her vitality under the pure appear at the intersection. At the moment when she opens her eyes, the chaotic nebula is divided into a green nebula. Is in the front. The wood has been second apprentice of the Lin family. For nebulas are still running at high speed. His school brother Yuan Yi are constantly absorbed by her and transformed into Wacken. Mrs. Lu holds Qin Yen in her arms and greets chaos. She has lived a rich life for several years, and she has interweaved into brilliant colors. The Qin family is the support of the Lu family, and the Lin family is also the support of the ocean of Reiki. Commander Qin is still as healthy as different properties. Mr. Lin holds his hands together. That this moment is greeting Commander Qin. Lin Luodong passes it, she will become a bearing Commander Qin cultivator and take another step forward on the long road of personal ability enhancement and recognizes Commander Qin as a former senior in the military of Huaxia. Even the trampled grass can usher in vitality, let alone herself. Fatty is very proud of the decision he made in the past. The nebula in the pubic region decision to integrate into this small group. After shrinking, as for the purpose of secretly sabotaging, are they condensing into golden elixir? One is marked by the company one or state of mind. It is easy to lose the bad side of one's character and become more and more like the kind of person one once dreamed to be. Mrs. Lu goes to take care of the guests with her maid. How can she have Commander Qin waves his hand and tells her to call is warm and flowers are blooming. Commander Qin grassland ushers in early summer. Lin laughs. Lin Luoran there is enough spirit wine in bearing essence. Not only the spirit after wine, bearing essence, but the picky Lins also put a lot of homegrown fruits and vegetables in Mr. Lin's sweat, and her skin has a tendency to evolve like jade. Lin Luoran is still wondering what seem to have developed again. Her fingers are long and slender. To have a barbecue she is tonight. Also taller by Commander a few Qin remembers the wild boar meat in Xinqing Villa that year, and his saliva tall. Begins to secrete outside the center of Chuan Province. However, there is just the right height for the younger generation who are getting better and better in nutrition. Asks Goldie. In fact, what worries Lin Luoran is that after promising him endless with different colors, the arrogant king finally bows to delicious slightly bigger, and it is still in the middle as usual. Ma Ming is dizzy. The remaining three small golden elixirs, used to it. Red, Fatty is deeply disappointed and feels that he is excluded from a small circle. In addition, there is a circle of Wacken around the surface look at each other golden elixirs and the misty nebula. It doesn't matter if they tell Ma Ming the truth. When these four round things move, will Ma Ming look like a small galaxy after knowing that there are 9 powerful people behind him? Well, wrong. They can't expect everyone to have the same personality. 8 planets left. If Ma Ming knows there is no comparison profile one she doesn't know whether the existence of these 4 golden elixirs tonight has shared the original strength of the bearing essence period or made her more powerful than ordinary bearing essence cultivators. The Qin family is bustling. She has no time to check the space. Has been trained to be a good housekeeper and her cooking skills have improved. She goes out of the place. The most important thing is that she has learned how to behave properly and takes the initiative to help. Door training for 2 months. Has she not etten anything? Mrs. Lu is still arranging the charcoal. The little girl is helping his sister to wash the snow mountain. And the teacher is in the early summer. The ice melts and the gullies of the snow mountain are filled with piercing ice water. It becomes a labor meeting attended by everyone. Is circling on the top of the snow mountain, who is like a little cloud following her every step. Skirt. Feeling its master's aura for a while, and Li Shi is defeated. It was obviously as a cultivator in the level of laying foundation. She has to perform magic and in front of Qin Yen. The sharp spell of gold is just for show. Until white cloud disappears, Goldie runs back and forth Lin 3 times is standing not far behind. The first time at her, he catches 2 hares. The little girl has grown a few centimeters taller. She originally wanted to show off a deer in the yard. Herself into Commander Qin is embarrassed. However, she finds that the place where she made a gesture before has grown a little bit taller. Let's go fishing together someday. Has Agia also grown in the capital is boring. They ride White Cloud back to the valley in the wild. Sure enough, seeing that Commander Qin has changed the subject and there is talk about fishing with Mr. Lin, the rest of the people is not a fool. Having a righteous elder in the family was really a jerky. However, the deer is disemboweled and the hares and pheasants are turned into skewers. A long dining table is placed in the yard with all kinds of vegetables. It's difficult to go from extravagance to frugality. Tonight, There is a lively buffet
Can
barbecue.
my hand really be
Ma
cured?
Ming takes a sip of spirit wine.
Is happy
He
to eat
feels
the
that the
delicious
liquor
fruit.
he used to drink in the
However,
bar has become
the little girl
as
now
good as
knows
dishwater.
how to hide her worries.
He is about to express
Lin
his
Luoran
emotion when
doesn't miss
Qin
the
Yan
worries
shouts
that
at the
appear in her
intersection
eyes from time to time.
Dad is back.
Lin Luoran
Lu
nods
Sanchun
solemnly.
is usually
She
busy.
is not only trying
The
to
happiest
convince
time for
Zhe
Qin
Yitong,
Yan is when
but
Lu
also
Sanchun
herself
comes home.
In order to make
He
the little
waves
girl
at
happy,
the intersection.
Lin Luoran
Everyone
keeps her
follows
promise
his line
of
of
red
sight,
coral
and they are
necklace.
all surprised.
The red coral
Lu
is found
Sanchun
in the
is
Dragon
not the only
Palace.
one who comes
It's
back.
unforgettable to
Lin
steal it
Luoran,
from yourself.
who hasn't seen her for a
Lin
year,
Luoran
is
very
heartless.
wasteful.
And
She
Yuan
only
Yi,
takes the
who has been
thickest
left
part
at home
and
and is
carves
full
it
of
into
resentment,
hundreds of
are
coral
smiling
beads.
at everyone.
She makes a
I didn't
necklace
miss
for
dinner,
Zhe Yitong.
did I?
Although the red
Mrs.
coral
Lin lowers
necklace
her
is
head
precious,
and wipes her tears.
Lin Luoran
You
takes
are
the white
so
paper
heartless.
and folds it into a paper crane. The scene of the small paper
Chapter
crane dancing around
347.
Zhe Yitong is
Lin
obviously
Luoran
more
feels
attractive
that she has
to the
become
little girl.
a real big parent.
While Zhe Yitong
As soon
is
as she
still
comes
studying
back,
the magical
many
paper
people
crane,
come to her and
Lin
ask for her
Luoran
affection.
flashes into the
Li
space.
Shi is a
Although
typical
she has
example.
guessed that the space
Lin
will become
Luoran
bigger,
has to stare
the
at her.
area has
You
doubled
are
at
already
once.
a cultivator in the
The
level of
surprise
laying
comes
foundation.
so fast that she is
Mind
numb
your
for a
image,
while.
will you?
Counting the
Li
increase
Shi
when she
looks
was in
around
the
to
late
see who
laying
dares to
foundation
laugh at
period,
her.
the
A
space
cultivator
now
has
has
an
an area
area
of
of
laying
10
foundation.
acres.
Yuan
Yi
Yi and
looks
Zheng
at the
Tian
space
are
and
both
sighs.
juniors.
If this
Especially
10
Yuan
acres
Yi.
of land is
His
all used to
fiancée
grow
has become a
vegetables and
real
trees,
school ant.
isn't it too wasteful?
How sad it is.
If it can be divided
Practice
into
hard.
areas,
Practice
it will be
hard.
perfect.
Yuan
For
Yi
example,
cheers
in a
himself
farm
up
game in the
silently.
secular world,
If he is not
the
powerful
fields
enough,
are divided
he will be
into several
embarrassed to
levels.
pursue Li
For
seriously.
spirit herbs,
Lin's
it should
family
gather the
is
most
all here.
abundant reiki
This is
in
the
the
first
entire
time for
space.
Lin Luoran
For
to meet
vegetables
Qin Yan,
and trees,
so she has
it
to
doesn't
give him a
need to be
gift.
so wasteful.
She now finds
Thinking
that a
about it
protective
casually,
jade plate is
the ground
perfect
under
for her
juniors.
feet shakes.
She hangs a
Lin
jade
Luoran
plate on
doesn't know
Qin
what
Yan's
is
neck.
going on. Commander
However,
Qi knows it
she
is a
sees
good
that
thing.
the space is
So how
really
can others
divided
not
into
know?
3 areas
Lin
after
Luodong
shaking for a
asks
while
for a
as
jade
she
plate
thinks.
from Ma Ming
The
and
2
Wei
acres
Shui.
of land next
Fortunately,
to the spring
Lin
becomes red
Luoran
land.
made a lot of them in
Most
the
of the
valley
reiki
after
of the
bearing
spring
essence.
seems to be locked
Today,
in this area.
she gives them a big
Spirit
gift.
herbs are
Jade
all
is
moved
really
to the red
worthless
land.
in her eyes.
The place where
It is a
Chinese
piece
herbs
of
are
cake for a
planted becomes
cultivator
2
in the
acres
level
of
of black
bearing
land.
essence to make
The
such a
rest of the
protective
vegetables,
jade plate.
fruits and trees
It's not
are
strange
moved
that
to
Ma
6
Ming and
acres
Wei
of
Shui
yellow
both
land.
have it.
Was it
Rong
because
is
of
an
her idea
ordinary
that
person,
the red,
but he also
black,
needs
and yellow
protection.
soil with different
Sister
fertility
Rong
was
is
a
a
nanny?
nanny. Lin
Seeing the
Luoran
beautiful
thinks
jade
again.
in her hand,
Except
she
for the 2
obviously knows
acres
the
of land
value
where
of it better
spirit
than Ma
herbs
Ming
and
and
spirit
Wei
herbs
Shui
are planted.
since she has lived
The boundary
in Lin's
between
family
black
for more
land
than a
and
year.
yellow land
Because
doesn't
of
need to be
Lin
too clear.
Luoran's sudden return,
Fruits and
tonight's
vegetables
dinner
can be
is
mixed
full
on the
of
land
surprises.
of 2 colors.
Goldie
which
eats
is
a lot
convenient
of
for
meat
her to
skewers
take out
grilled
according
by
to
its
the
master,
situation,
which makes
as
others
soon as she
envious.
thinks about it.
In the dead of
space
night,
changes
only
again.
Yuan Yi,
This
Zheng
time,
Tian,
there is
and
no
Lin
rumbling
Luodong
or
are
shaking,
left on the
but
rooftop
some
of the
trees
Qin's
and
house.
vegetables
Lin
quietly
Luoran
exchange
wants
places
to
with
test their
Chinese
progress
herbs.
in personal ability
Lin Luoran
enhancement.
blinks and
Yuan
can't help
Yi
but close her
encounters
eyes
the
and
first
scream,
obstacle
"Fire
of personal
Phoenix,
ability
what's
enhancement.
going on?"
He is not
Fire
short of
Phoenix
reiki,
comes out of
but
the
he
cabin
still
with
can't
its
break
ears
through the
pricked.
middle stage of
Why are
training
you
Qi
yelling
and
so
enter the
early
late
in the
stage
morning?
of training Qi. It's too
Zheng
much to
Tian
disturb
catches
other
up with him.
people's dreams.
He is very talented in
Luoran
sword
really
spells.
wants to correct it
He
for
has
2
successfully
things.
entered the
First,
middle
a
stage of
half-training
training
Qi
doesn't need
half
to
a month
sleep.
ago.
Second,
As for
a
Lin
phoenix is
Luodong,
not a
he is
human
struggling
being,
with his
but she
personal
needs
ability in
Fire
the early
Phoenix to
stage
solve
of
her
training
doubts.
Qi. So Lin
However,
Luoran
Lin
doesn't provoke
Luoran
it.
doesn't think it is a problem.
You figured out
She
the
doesn't
function
wait
by
for her
yourself?
2 apprentices
Fire
and her brother
Phoenix
to
patrols
fight in
around
the
the
front
front
line
line and shows
the
high
more
praise
solid
their
their foundation is,
performance.
the farther they can
Lin
go in the
Luoran
future.
faintly knows
That is why
perhaps
Lin
because of the
Luodong
wood wolf
asked
and the
Luodong
bearing
to
essence
wait
until
she
he
has
was
a
18
closer
years old
connection
to
with the
cultivate.
space.
Yuan
The
Yi,
situation
you learn
is
both
very good.
swordsmanship and alchemy.
She and the space
Have
are
you
no
ever thought
longer
about
one-sidedly
specializing in
superior.
one?
As
In
for
Lin's
the difference
opinion,
between the
Yuan
things
Yi can't
planted
make a
by the
breakthrough
because of his
soil.
state of mind.
She has to wait
Of
for her own
course,
practice
cultivators
to prove it.
could have
After
many
hearing
hearing her
hobbies,
question,
but a person's
Fire
energy
Phoenix
was
laughs.
limited in the early
fact,
stage.
You haven't found a bigger surprise. What
Without
big surprise is there in the space
as a foundation,
Lin
it would
Luoran
be
is
easier
very
to have
surprised.
a smooth journey
Is
if
it like
one
playing
specialized
games where
in
she
one.
can get a big
Yuan
gift
Yi
bag
is
after
suddenly
leveling up?
enlightened.
Lin
In fact,
Luoran
he
pesters
loves the
Fire
Tower
Phoenix to find
most.
out the truth.
However,
he
sees
this
that
proud
Zention
Fire
is
Phoenix
obsessed
swings
with
its
its
gorgeous tail
swordsmanship.
feathers and
As
slips
the eldest
into the cabin.
school brother,
He is
Lin Luoran
responsible for the
doesn't check
safety
and
of the
stumbles.
school in the future.
She thinks she
He
will
can't
still
just
be bounced
focus on the
back by
Tao
the
of Bolus.
inhibition like QQ
Such
jelly.
a contradictory mood makes
Unexpectedly,
his
she
personal
passes
ability
through the
stagnate.
inhibition.
She
Seeing that
falls hard on the
Zention has
ground
finally
and
made
eats
up
a
his
mouthful
mind.
of mud.
Lin Luoran
suddenly
uses
uses
her
no
hand
time
as
to
a
care
sword
about
and
her
whacking
embarrassing
as the
appearance.
blades.
She takes a breath of the air inside the inhibition,
is very
which is
sensitive to
addictive
sword
like taking
intent.
drugs.
Although he
What
is in a
abundant
hurry,
Reiki.
he can still
The
avoid
inhibition
it.
is
Lin
broken.
Luoran shows
Is this
mercy
the
to
surprise
Zention,
that Fire
and this
Phoenix
attack
said?
is mixed with a
No,
lot of strength.
No, The inhibition is still covering it with his personal ability in the middle stage of training through the inhibition. Even Lin Luoran has to admit that some people in this world may be range of the shrouded in a certain field. Lin Luoran holds the materials and walks forward along the blue stone. There is a piece of red in front of the ordinary wooden door. To make a flying sword. What would be waiting for her? Xing Tian is so excited that he almost jumps up. Finally, Lin Luoran is talking to open the wooden door. Is he going to have a flying sword? Just as she pushes open the door, which can accommodate one person, to him. A green shadow rushes to her. Did she touch the inhibition? Shows two simple spells of the earth. Chapter 343 gives him a natural affinity to the earth. Is actually the unwilling would find anything wrong with him. Of course, it has no chance to hurt him to work hard. As soon as its head comes out, it is slapped to the ground by the fire cultivate harder. This monster wolf has been living a miserable life both cultivation and after death. The only thing left in our lives. That can cast spells. Well, it can't defeat about that rumored girlfriend of yours, and it can't defeat the fire phoenix in death. Ears turn red. Its life is far more tragic than the tea table. Look at him as if saying that the wood wolf is under control and then runs away. How can he have a rumored girlfriend? The inside of this cabin is much larger than it looks. Who spread the rumor? From where if he knows it, he will beat the rumor monger up. She can see a large living room. There are many closed wooden doors in the antique wooden building, about him which looks like the structure of an ancient inn. His eyes are shining with inexplicable little silver which makes pushing the door out of a room on the first floor. Do you mean that she is full of curiosity about everything his family observes all cultivators who can fly? There are 5 rooms on the first floor and a circle on the second floor. The little silverfish says that they all live on the first floor. Will never age. Lin Luoran wants to see she is really a fairy, but the little silverfish shakes his head. Your room is the first room on the second floor. Our own strength go up by yourself. Reach the level of laying foundation. The first room on the second floor. Ma Ming waves his hand. Seeing the encouragement in the eyes of the silverfish, the point is that you two are obviously the most powerful cultivators in the legend. The wooden building has existed for many years. Me to be the vanguard in every fight. Makes Lin Luoran suspect that these stairs will break down at any time. The little fatty always can't find the point. Feels that today is like guessing riddles. It is normal for him to show an expression of being cheated by his kid brother. There is her still thinking about the fight they had before. What about the room? Every time we fight for her, you provoke others. Lin Luoran takes a breath and pushes open the door of the room on the second floor. I ask you to be the vanguard. A wind blows over. Huang Weijin explains calmly. Gives a big supercilious suddenly look. Grabs Huang's sleeve creative and smiles flatteringly. However, looking around, she sees that the fire phoenix, the point is, what is this jade plate and the wood wolf are all on the first floor. Is flustered by how does the wind come out from the door? So he covers it up for him. Heart tightens. He makes a cut on the wooden door and suddenly opens from the inside blood on the jade plate. Before the person blood being absorbed by the jade giggling. The fatty's eyes become brighter. Human being in the space? Then Huang Weijin waves his hand and throws a vase at Ma Ming. In the eyes of the fatty, the jade misses the nostalgia in the light and the vase is smashed into pieces on the wall. How many years has it been since she heard her voice again? It was a magic weapon. The wooden door was a magic weapon. In Lin's wild laughter comes from the guest girl who is about 7 or 8 years old running out. Finally can't stand the illiterate man who has read too many YY novels. He covers his ears and kicks Ma out of his room. Lin Luoran's as a college student, her tone is rare intimacy. Have to go to class. Oh, you're here. For everyone, Lin Luoran doesn't know where this intimate feeling comes from. Took away the little fatty who has looking been at the girl's pure eyes. Since they have nothing to do, the Lin family decides to have a tour around the capital. She was sure that this was the first time she had seen this little girl. Stay in a hotel. Where did this strange sense of familiarity come from? During this period, even Pei Yuan comes over. She doesn't even look at the political background check and can only do odd jobs out her little hand, technology, grabs which is enough to make Pei Yuan drags her out of the excitement. The ordinary wooden door separates the best medicine outside into 2 different worlds. Is full of energy. There is a trace of sadness when he talks about the dazzling spaceship in front of Lin Luoran. Wood Wolf is reckless that his eyes are shining. Sister Rong has washed away the smell of a delinquent girl. Its newly condensed she is a young beauty departed is almost Lin Luoran notices that Pei is secretly looking at her. Do they still have a chance? Is this space fun? Sister Rong comes to ask for leave. Holding her chin says and looking at boyfriend is also in the capital. Lin Luoran is in a daze. Lin Luoran approves with pleasure. She thought there was something in the room. She turns around but it turns out to be almost the same as her room in Lin's house. Your unreliable brother-in-law hasn't been replaced yet. She once fantasized about when she was in tears and doesn't know what to say. Ceiling glass. She can see the fields of the space. Said that the guy is really a wily old and comfortable bed. You don't want us to hurt him. And simple wallpaper. Seeing that Sister Rong is getting rich, dressing table and a new laptop on the desk. However, hey. Master, is this a combination of ancient and modern? He is
Lin
very
Luoran
cunning.
is in a daze for
Lin
a long
Luoran
time before
frowns.
she realizes
The collapse
what the
of a
little
great
girl asked.
embankment is caused by an
space fun?
ant's nest.
It turns out that the
Sometimes
space
a small
for playing.
figure can overturn
Lin
the whole
Luoran
situation.
smiles bitterly.
Don't be too
She
relaxed.
really doesn't know who she
Even
is.
if he is an ordinary
Such a
person,
space is
if
just a
Sister
plaything
Rong
in
is
the eyes
deeply
of this
involved
little
with
girl.
the Lin family,
Well, it's
her
fun.
unreliable boyfriend
If it
will
has
have
to
a
be a
chance to
plaything,
threaten Lin's
this is
family.
much more fun
Lin
than growing
is very
vegetables
selfish,
in the real world,
and she would rather measure the heart of a villain
just
with her
telling
own
the truth.
mean measure.
The little girl
Zheng
changes the
nods.
posture of
I
holding
see.
her chin again.
Rong
I'm
Donlin
relieved
is
that
relieved.
it's fun.
He
I
is
didn't
more
leave the
suitable
space
to
to
study
you in vain.
He is
By
really
the
not
way,
good at dealing
what's
with
your
family
name?
affairs.
Lin Luoran sits up straight. However,
Is this little
wasn't
girl
he the
in front of her
luckiest
really
person
the
among the
original
tens of
owner of the
thousands of
space?
students who came from
Lin
humble
Luoran,
backgrounds
Lin
when
we
he
got
got
to
to
know
Woods, senior
Luo
sister
as in
Lin,
Luo Shuei,
anyone who
Ran
has
as
Lin
in Ran.
Luoran as a
The little
friend
girl
must
dips
feel
her
at
finger
ease.
in tea and
She is
gestures
so
on the
nice
desk.
to her friends.
Is this how
Lin
it is
Luoran's
written?
friends are at
Lin
ease.
Luoran looks
Sometimes
at the desk and blushes.
she finds that her relative,
She thinks she has
who
learned enough
almost
words,
disappeared in her
but she
memory,
still can't
suddenly
recognize
appear
the
at
three
some
characters
unexpected
written by
moment.
the little girl.
For example,
However, she
Fatty
never
Chui
knows that
received
someone
a call
can
from
write
his
the three
third aunt.
characters.
She
Lin
said that his
Luoran
cousin was
in
in
such
trouble.
an elegant way.
The last call from
Lin
Fatty Chui
Luoran
was
thinks
to
for a
inform
while
his cousin,
and also
whom
dips
she
her
hadn't
finger
seen
in
for
tea
more
like the
than
little
10
girl.
years.
To
She
save him.
writes with all the
When
characters
Fatty
she
Chui
knows.
became a live-in
The little
son-in-law,
girl has been
the
staring
Chui
at her
family
with a
felt
smile
embarrassed
and asks
and
many
embarrassed.
questions from
Fatty
time to
Chui
time.
was so
Lin
protective of his
Luoran
wife
changes
that he didn't
all the
contact
characters
his
she
family
knows.
anymore.
It
He
seems
didn't
that there
become
are
a
still
live-in
no
son-in-law for
characters
the
that the
sake
little
of
girl
living
knew.
off a woman.
Lin
The
Luoran
problem was
is
that
a
the
little
Wang
disappointed.
family only had
The little
one daughter,
girl
and
comforts
Wang
her.
Miao,
When I
Yi's
learned to write,
parents didn't
he said
agree
I
to their
didn't want to
marriage.
learn other
Although
characters.
Fatty Chui
It's
later
none of your
earned his
business.
family business as
The
well
little
as the
girl
Wang
looks like
family
7
with his
or
own
8 years
efforts.
old
He
and
was still
speaks
not
very
close
cute.
to his family because
However,
of the
her state of mind
misunderstanding in
is
the early
much more
years.
mature than Lin
However,
Luoran.
his little
She
cousin
soon
used to play
diverts
with
Lin
mud behind
Luoran's
him with a
attention.
runny nose.
The two talk for half
Fatty
an hour.
Chui can't ignore
The
him.
fire phoenix
Fatty
on the first
Chui
floor
calms
is
down
restless.
and asks his third aunt.
It
What
wants
else
to
did
go
my cousin
upstairs
say?
several times.
His third
but it
aunt,
forcibly
who doesn't
holds
have a
back.
good memory,
Upstairs,
remembers after a long
Lin
time that
Luoran
her
originally
has
wanted to
repeatedly
ask about
said
the
that he
secret of the
works in a
space,
special
but she
department.
completely forgets
Is there
the
any
original
important
intention.
meaning?
The
Fatty
topic
Chui
of the
pats his
conversation
head.
has been
He
led
knows
by the
that
little
as a
girl.
businessman,
We
he
have
can't
talked
do
for so
anything.
long. Of
Did I
course,
forget to
he
tell
has
you my
heard of
name?
the special
He
department.
always said that I
It
have
turns
a bad
out that he
memory,
went
and he
around
is
in a
right.
big circle to
The
ask
little
the Lin
girl's
family
eyes
for
become
help.
crescents.
Fatty
My
Chui
name is
has to
Momo.
go to the Lin
Don't
family
forget it.
shamelessly.
Lin
The
Luoran's
locked door shows
subconsciously
that the
nods.
owner is not at
Momo
home.
pats her head.
Fatty Chui
I
makes
forget
a phone
the business
call
when
and
I
learns
talk.
the truth.
This beat
Well,
space is
Sister
very
Lin is
interesting.
back?
If you
Fatty
have any
Chui is
questions in the
relieved.
future, you
Since
can ask
Lin
Little
Luoran
Red.
can help him. Even
Who
the
is
king
Little
of hell
Red?
can't take his
Lin
snot-nosed
Luoran has
cousin
a
away.
faint sense of
Time
foreboding.
waits for no man.
Momo opens her
Fatty
eyes
Chui
wide.
flies to the
Don't you
capital
know
that
Little
night.
Red?
Its
Miss
tail
Chui
is very
who is
beautiful
10 years
and it can
old
also
and about
breathe
to enter
fire.
the 5th grade
It
of
is very
primary
docile.
school.
Insists
Lin
on going
Luoran
with
is
him.
almost
Her
choked.
brother Luodong
Is the
must be
little girl
wanted by
talking
many
about the
people in the
fire
capital.
phoenix downstairs?
She has to keep a close eye
tail
on him.
is very beautiful.
The couple can't do
Of
anything
course,
about their
the
daughter,
fire
so the
phoenix
trip
can
for
breathe
help turns
fire.
into a tour
Docile?
group of 3
How is
going
it
to the
docile?
capital.
Haha.
Money is
It
endless.
turns out that its name
Chui
is
Wanlu
Little Red.
can't spend all
Hilarious.
of Fatty Chui's and
Momo
Wang Miao
suddenly
takes
takes
Lin
properties.
Luoran's hand and
Family
looks her up and
happiness
down.
is the most
You are more
important
beautiful
thing
than
for
I
Chui
used to be.
Wanlu.
I don't
Although
know
I
if
didn't
he likes
reply
a
to
girl
all
like
the
this.
comments in the book
Can you
review
promise
and
me that
comment
you will help me
section?
take
I
care
have
of
read
him
them
in the
carefully.
future? It is
Lin
Poe's
Luoran
blessing to have
feels
such uncomfortable
support.
under Momo's gaze. Who is he? A cultivator's oath is confirmed
Chapter
by the Tao of Nature.
348.
She
You
can't
mean
make
they
a
were sent
promise
to
casually
Neon for a mission,
Momo
and we
thinks
haven't
for
heard
a
from them
while
for
and
half a
reaches
month?
out her hand
Chui
to make a
Hajian
water
is
mirror.
one of them,
The figure
right?
in the mirror makes
Well,
Lin
send me the
Luoran
specific
stunned.
information
The
later.
man in robe. Lin puts
The
down
man
the
in
phone
robe
and
who
confirms
writes Golden
Fatty Chui's
characters.
words with Chen Yun.
Feeling the temperature
She
of
is not
Momo's
happy
palm
about this
dropping,
news. Lin Luoran
Fatty
wakes
Chui
up
says
from the
with a
shock.
sullen face.
Momo sees
Sister
that
Lin,
Lin Luoran
my cousin lowers her head and says nothing. Chui family who hasn't gotten married yet. Is it too much to ask? He is the last hope of carrying on the family line. Just forget what I said. You have to help me. As soon as Fatty Chui finishes his words, Wang Miao slaps him. Pulls out her hand. Is your daughter not your own? Indifferent smile. Fatty Chui knows that he has said something wrong, and he runs away like a rat. Where to go? Lin ignores the couple who are over 50 years old but still behave like children. The little girl's body, she looks at Chui Wanlu, different from a real person, truant in the yard becomes transparent, and the little boy. Momo. Lucy, who is 10 years old this year, already has Wang Miao floats in the air. Lucy I have been waiting for many years when she was a child. Don't worry, Lucy is a pretty little girl now. I am going back to sleep. This is not the point. Momo is still that when Chui Wanlu tears are coming out of her eyes in the pond, Lin tears turn into water crystal teardrops are lingering around Chui Wanlu. Chui Wanlu doesn't want to let go of the little girl's tears and feels the same way. And Fatty Chui are ordinary people with tears mixed with the teardrop. Lucy is 8 years old, shine like crystals. But no one in the Lin family wants to test her Taoist root. It is a better name than Momo. Now it seems that there is a surprise. Such a name? Since the little girl Murray has a cousin working in a special department, it is possible that there are other people with the Taoist root in the Chui family. Left alone. Lucy, come here. She feels like she is still in a dream. Lin Luoran rushes downstairs. Who is leads Qin Yan to the school like a big sister. Why do I cry when she cries? She corrects Qin Yan's bad habit of holding his fingers in his mouth. Fire Phoenix curls its lips unnaturally. Because Aunt Lin finally agreed to take her to the school to see Luodong? Fire Phoenix eyes are shining. Did she give you something? Girls are so mature now. Lin has a headache. Her palm and reveals the teardrop aside and turns her fingers. Wood Wolf shows a covetous the little girl. It wants to snatch it regardless of the strength of the Fire Phoenix that was shrinking and retracting. Fire Phoenix grabs it and puts the teardrop between Lin Luoran's eyebrows. The little boy's military bloodline doesn't know what it is shown at all. It is incomparable in Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness. Don't move. When it sees the fly of Choi will come out sculpture, it hides in it. Wang Yao and her husband both stop and stare at Choi too far. They don't know what Lin has done to their daughter, but they know that Lin would never hurt Choi. Feels it is annoying. Sister Lin straightens her face. Now that we have rubs his hands, shouldn't you tell me some questions? He wants to know more about the gossip, Phoenix gloats, but he is holding the silver fish back his to their expression is so funny. Seeing that Wood Wolf is embarrassed, is about to answer when Choi comes out of the fog. The appearance of Momo not only doesn't solve the mystery, but also makes her have more questions. When Qin Yan touched it, she remembers in her dream that the bead space belongs to the man in robe. It was like taking a hot spring bath. Momo said that she gave the bead to her. It was just as she had guessed that the bead originally belonged to the man in robe. But he gave it to Momo and finally fell into her hands. Sister Wang, not only do you mind if the little girl also gave her a teardrop? That she doesn't know what it is for. If Sister Lin she saw just now was just an existence like a remnant. Both then where were the real man in robe and by and now? Ignore Fatty Choi, who has a different brain structure and suddenly pats her head. Is a little bit stunned. The appearance of Sister Lin disrupts her plan. Do you mean that Wan Lu? She originally came to ask Fire Phoenix about regrowing her water foundation. Even if she doesn't marry into the Lin family, the world of cultivation Chapter will fight for 344. Fatty Choi is stunned. Pool, at this critical moment, naked and soaked in the hot spring. He makes a prompt decision. Only her small even if she has a single water foundation. She has to marry into the Lin family. A small bowl in her hand. Sister, it's a deal. The bowl is half filled with black liquid. Come here and greet your master. It glows with a faint golden light. Choi Wan Lu blinks her eyes. Can this really cure my arm? Becomes her master after a short conversation, and she swallows. Does it mean that Luodong will become her master? The wound on her broken arm has long healed, leaving an ugly lump of flesh. The pink lump of flesh makes the wound look horrible. However, when the Lin family comes back in the evening, and has long they are very happy to hear that Choi Wan Lu has become swallow is the medicine mixed in Lin Luoran's hand. The strange fragrance makes people greedy. Suddenly has a little really used to cure diseases. He smiles from ear to ear. Luoran feels the medicine and smiles. What do you want? Little glutton. I'll buy it for you tomorrow. Used to cure wounds. Xing Tian but it will be very painful. And promises. Can you bear it? Yuan Yi corrects. Zhe Yitong nods second fiercely. School brother. Compared with the pain of losing her arm how about forever, I teach you magic? She is certainly willing to after choose kicking away two unruly apprentices. Frightens her. If you move around and your arm grows crooked, you will cry. I didn't ask for your opinion this morning. Little face wrinkles. We made the decision for you. Seeing that she finally stops twisting, as an equal, I ask you, carefully applies the medicine to the wound on her broken arm. Are you willing to cultivate? The black medicine mixed with golden cultivation make you very powerful. Yes. Instead, it seeps into Zhe I heard that cultivators can disappear in the blink of an eye. Is it true? Lin Luoran carefully considers the dosage and then puts away the rest of the medicine. I'm willing to cultivate. She is not stingy. The rescue operation is too precious. Lin Luoran has to put aside the dragon marrow from the dragon to refine a flying sword for Zheng Tian. Dragons have strong bodies and the regenerative function of their marrow is naturally incomparable. It was just that in the past, ordinary cultivators couldn't get their hands on dragon marrow thing he says like regrowing severed limbs. Why do I feel that you have become more powerful? Couldn't use this function. He thought that he was getting closer. The dragon race was powerful in the level of laying foundation. Dragon marrow didn't spread. He still can't because of the powerful regenerative function of dragon marrow. Lin Luoran doesn't want to hide ordinary body might not be able to bear the little dragon marrow if she hadn't been nourished by the spirit rice and fruits provided by Lin Luoran in the past world of cultivation in Huaxia. Lin Luoran plans to use the rest of the medicine on the little cultivator who lost his arm the first cultivator to bear the essence under their watch in the past hundreds of years. It is worth it to make a little girl like cultivators in the level of bearing essence can only struggle in the later stage of laying foundation like Hui has begun to twist her body. The warm pool
However,
water makes her
it
blood
never
flow
occurs
faster.
to them that Lin
The
Luoran
medicine
can
takes
bear
effect
the
quickly
essence
after
and
more than
Zhe
10 years of
pain
cultivation.
A
person's
Lin
arm,
Luoran's achievement
including the
makes
time it
people
has been
jealous.
developed in the mother's
However,
body,
Lin
will not
Luoran
be
has
shaped
laid a
until it
solid
grows
foundation
straight and
for many
develops with the body.
cultivators in Huaxia.
If Zhe Yitong
Even
wants
if
to
Lin
regrow her
Luoran
broken
has some
arm in a
unknown
short time
adventures,
with the help
she
of
is not a
dragon marrow,
talented
the
female
pain of cell
cultivator.
division is
Everyone
enough to
has
make this
witnessed her
12-year-old
every
girl
advancement.
wander in hell.
Why can't they have the chance to lay
What a
foundation
stubborn
and
little
even
girl.
become cultivators in the
Lin Luoran
level
looks
of
at her
bearing
sweaty
essence?
but silent face.
Even if they don't have
Lin
adventures,
Luoran loves
they
her.
still have to
A
work
burst
hard.
of soothing
If they
whacking
are
of
not
wood is
talented
sent into
enough,
Zhe
they have
Yitong's
to
body.
work harder.
The little girl
When this
falls
inspiring
into a
news
deep
spread,
sleep.
the eyes
Lin
of many
Luoran
cultivators
estimates that
who
it will be a
adhere to
few
the
days
principle
before
that
she
men
wakes
should
up.
not easily
At
shed
such a
tears,
tense moment,
became
she
slightly
can't be away
wet.
from others.
Since Master
Lin
Lin can break
Luoran
the curse
simply
that
sits
no
down
one
by
in
the
the
spring.
world of cultivation
There
in
are vines
Huaxia can reach
everywhere
the
in
level
this
of
valley.
bearing essence.
Lin
Doesn't it
Luoran
mean
is
that
so
they,
bored
a
that
group
she
of young
extracts all the
cultivators
fibers of the
struggling
wood?
in the primitive age
Such
of
materials
spells
can't be
are not
calcined by
completely
strange
abandoned
fire
by the
if they
Tao
are
of Heaven?
used to refine
However,
weapons.
this is
But
a story
now,
for
she
later.
can try the bolus
At this
fire.
moment,
A
when
small
Guanjing
flame
sighs
appears
in
in
Lin
Lin
proposes
Luoran's
to
palm.
Lin Luoran.
The four
Sister
colors are
Lin,
intertwined,
when are we leaving?
which is really beautiful.
Lin Luoran looks
This is
around.
not the effect
All
of the
the
fire
Lin family
spell,
members
but the
are looking
bolus
at her
fire that
eagerly.
Lin Luoran can
Lin
have after
Luodong's
bearing
personal
essence.
ability is
This
too
kind
low
of
for
slow
him to go
fire
with them.
is stable
Even
and
Zeng
long-lasting.
Tian, who
He
doesn't
doesn't
even
really
have
have
a
the best
proper
weapon
weapon
for
is
making
not a
elixirs and
consideration.
refining weapons.
Yuan Yi is
The
thoughtful,
fibers of
so
the
he can go
vines
with
turn
them.
into a pool
As for
of
Mr.
blue
Lin,
water in the
as a
bolus
daughter,
fire.
she can't
Under the
stop her
guidance of
father.
Lin
The
Luoran's
team to go
fingers,
to Japan
thin
is
and
decided.
crystal silk
Mr.
threads
Lin
are drawn out.
When
It seems a good idea
Yuan
to make a
Yi,
dress
Goldie.
with such silk
Lin
threads as a
Luodong
gift
doesn't
for
want to
Zhe
give up.
Yitong's broken
However,
arm.
Huang
Zhe
Weijin's
Yitong
personal
vaguely
ability
remembers
is
having
higher
a long
than
dream,
his,
and he is
in the
not
dream,
chosen.
she wears
He feels
gorgeous
much
Tibetan
better.
clothes
He
and
looks at
falls
Huang
into her
Weijin.
mother's arms.
Under his friend's
Everyone cheers
indifferent
for her
face,
return
there is
and
some
lights the
slyness.
bonfire.
The
Lin
mutton
Luodong
is
is
sizzling
stunned
for
for
a
fire,
moment,
but he doesn't
White
say
Cloud
anything.
is so greedy
Fatty
that she
Chui
can't help
is so
sneezing.
happy that he is going
She
to book
suddenly
the plane
opens
tickets
her
for them.
eyes.
One
What she
cultivator
sees is
in the
still the
level
cave
of
where
bearing
she has
essence,
lived for half a
two
year.
cultivators in
Zhe
the level of
Yitong
laying
doesn't know how
foundation,
long she has
plus
been
Mr.
soaking in
Lin,
the hot
Yuan
spring.
Yi, and
She
the
feels that her
mysterious
hair
hawk
is
of
wet
Huaxia.
by the steam,
In Fatty
and it is
Chui's
uncomfortable
opinion,
to
such
touch
a
her
team
ears.
can even destroy
She
the
stretches
shrine
out
of
her
Japan.
hand to lift her hair,
Of course,
and suddenly
it is not a
freezes.
problem to save
She
his cousin.
stretched out the arm
flight
that was
from the
originally
capital to
severed.
Tokyo takes
Zhe
5
Yitong's
hours.
eyes widen.
Lin
Her
Luoran
right
feels
arm
that it is a
intact
waste
at
of
this
time.
She
Compared
decides
with
to cross
before,
the sea.
there is no
Mr.
difference.
Lin and Yuan
No,
Yi
there
are
is a
carried by
difference.
Goldie.
For example,
Lin Luoran
the brown
and Li
scar
Shi
on her elbow
are
that she
riding on the
burned by
sword.
the fire
When
when she was
Guanjing
6 years
also
old
knows
is
how to
gone.
ride on the sword.
This is a brand
They
new
can
arm.
arrive at Tokyo
Zhe
in less
Yitong
than an
compares
hour.
the two neat arms
Can you tell
and
the
jumps
direction
happily
in the
air?
hot spring pool?
To be safe,
When she
Lin
is tired
Luoran
of jumping,
asks when
she
Guanjing,
finds that Lin
when
Luoran
Guanjing
is
is a
not there.
captain who has
Zhe
traveled
Yitong
all
climbs
over the
up from the
world.
hot spring pool
He is good
and
at telling
finds that her
longitude
old clothes
and
are gone.
latitude.
He
There is a
nods
new
and takes
dress
out a
on the
watch-like
haystack.
thing.
She picks it up and
138.
compares it to
It is the same
139
size as hers.
8
Is it
degrees
for her?
east and 34.
This dress is so
8 to
beautiful.
36.
2
Zhe
degrees
Yitong
north.
holds the necklace
We will
in her
meet
hand.
the logistics team
The material
in Tokyo
is
first,
smoother than
and then
silk
we will
with
go to
green
Mount
background.
Fuji.
The
Lin
cuffs,
Luoran
collar,
nods
and
summons
skirt
the
are
bright
all
sword.
inlaid with soft fur. The skirt is
She
decorated
drags
with many
Li Shi
green
to
beads.
stand on the long
Zhe
and
Yitong
smooth
doesn't know
flying
that these
sword.
beads are
Goldie
all carved
returns
with
to its
jade,
original
but she
shape
knows
from
the
the
pearls.
size of an eagle.
Looking at the colorful
Its wings
bead necklace,
cover the entire
Zhe Yitong's
roof of the
mouth
Qing's
is so
house.
wide that she
It
can
is more than
swallow an
enough
egg.
for Mr.
Mom
Lin and
always
Yuan
says
Yi
she's
to
sorry
stand
for
on it.
not having money to
When
make the
Guanjing
best
is
Tibetan
ready,
dress for her.
Lin Luoran throws out 2
If
mini
Mom
worlds to cover
Dunju
them.
sees this
They
dress, she
disappear
will be
under the blue
crazy
sky.
with joy, right?
10-year-old
Zhe
Chui Wanlu
Yitong
carefully
looking
puts on
forward
the
to
dress.
Zeng
Well,
Tian
it's a little
stomps his
thin.
feet.
What a
Lin
pity.
Luodong
I'm
winks
afraid
at
that I
Huang
can't
Weijin.
wear it when I get out of the
Grandpa
valley.
Qi, Brother
The
Chui,
little girl
we have
worries about
classes in the
gains and
afternoon.
losses.
We have to
She
go
goes
now.
out of the cave and
They
sees
walk
Lin
away with their
Luoran
arms
arms
standing
around
in
each
front of
other's
White
shoulders.
Cloud,
Looking
before
at
they
her with
leave
a
the
smile.
community,
Huang
Wei-jin takes out his mobile
but her
phone to
eyes
book
are
tickets.
red.
Although
Yes,
she calls
the
Ajia,
fastest flight
she
from the
knows that
capital
Lin
to Tokyo.
Luoran is not her
Well,
real
2 business
Ajia.
class tickets.
After recovering her
Lin
memory,
Luodong
Lin
punches him hard
Luoran
on
is
his back.
powerful
I
and
will beat up
omnipotent.
anyone who says
She is
that
like
you
a
are being
holy
honest.
fairy on the snow mountain.
You two are the
How
most
can
dishonest.
ordinary herdsmen like them
Cui
get
Wan
close
Lu's
to her?
voice comes from
But
behind.
why is Ajia
Lin
still so
Luoran
good to
and
her?
Lin Luoran
She
find
treats
that
her
there is a
hand,
little girl
makes a coral
following them.
necklace for her,
Cui
and
Wan
makes
Lu
a
says
beautiful
proudly,
Tibetan dress
if you
for
don't
her.
take me there,
Seeing the
I will
tears in
report
the
you.
little girl's eyes,
Lin
Luodong is in a
Luoran
dilemma.
squats down to comfort
He
her.
and Huang
A crying
Wei-jin
little
have
girl
already
is not
committed
beautiful.
crimes against the public.
It's cold outside
If
the
they
valley.
take Cui Wan
Put
Lu,
on this
who has
hat.
no personal
This is a
ability and is
beautiful
only
white
10
hat
years
with
old,
round
with
coral
them,
beads
Lin
mixed with
Luoran
emerald
knows
green.
that his sister won't get
Zhe
angry
almost
easily.
falls in love
Huang
with it at
Wei-jin
first sight.
doesn't see Lin Luoran's
Are we going
face.
home? he says to Chui Wanlu calmly, and the beads hang on her forehead. The little girl benefits not only from the regrowth that she held their hands and skipped away, but also from the skin all over her body. At this moment, she looks no worse than any girl who grew up in the city. As an urban area that is the same as Shinjuku, as the 24-hour and jumps on it. Shibuya Station loyal dog Hachiko exit is full of famous department stores, but also Lin Luoran, who has been away from home for a year, coffee shops, White Cloud custom facilities, etc. They soon go down the snow mountain and popular with young people, making Shibuya a place for various popular events in and out of Japan. Already seen the familiar. It has been half an hour since Lin Luoran and others arrived at Shibuya Tokyo St. Roland Tower Hotel. She raises her head, overlooking from the 37th floor. Is enough to make her burst into tears. People on the streets Mother of Shibuya and daughter are connected by heart. Lin Qingxue, although they haven't seen each other for half a year, although no one in the Lin family can get used to this bitter drink, and although she is wearing a gorgeous Tibetan dress at the moment, Dun Zhu still recognizes at a glance that this is her daughter who has been missing for half a year. The leader of the logistics team in this operation. Zei Yitong gets off the horse and rushes into Dun Zhu's arms. Lin Luoran doesn't know how serious the situation is until she arrives. She hasn't heard this name for a long time. Old acquaintances who had disappeared this time. Although life is a never-ending journey, cultivator Yi Xiaobei on the grassland to watch the sunrise and the moon set all her life. She will always remember the days when she was a large number of young men and women disappeared in Shibuya, making butter and participating in horse racing are all fingers slide over the edge of the cup. The coffee is still steaming. Speaking of home, what does the disappearance of the young man from Shibuya have to do with Huaxia? Everyone can tell that Lin Luoran is unhappy. The wind in May still carries the last breath of narrow-minded nationalist. Rome City is bustling with people. Is not just interested in the so-called international aid, seems to have experienced especially when it came to international because aid her memory is sealed. That their own people would be trapped. City from the perspective of a cultivator in the level of bearing essence again. Miss Lin, whether she I'd like to in the level of laying the foundation or bearing essence, tour group Rome of city is a very important landmark and for 9 international students. After failing to persuade Lin Luoran's family to come to Rome cultivators, City, Lin Luoran how many days have they been enough to fly back on her sword? 3 days ago, Lin's house is quiet. Chui Hejian made Lin a long-distance call the door suspiciously, requesting there is no one at home. 3 days ago, Lin Luoran Chui Hejian made an international call. She touches her nose helplessly. To Fatty Chui for help. In the evening, her first apprentice feels that the situation is worse than she imagined. Seeing his grandmaster sitting in the hall, call for help to the logistics team and agreed. Why didn't he call Grandmaster? Maybe it was because the situation was so bad that even if the grandmaster who was in the level of laying foundation was like a high mountain that he could stands by the window and looks down at the passersby is like an inclusive This was indeed a paradise for young people. His head. There were all kinds of strange clothes and dazzling colors. The speed of his grandmaster's breakthrough of the crowd on the streets were young people. Luoran nods. Are the disappearances still going on? The road ahead is long. Nods. We should work together at 7 o'clock. By the way, no matter how you here alone, we and the Nihanese people monitor, falls down. Something will happen. It's just bearing essence. When Guanjing bearing essence, then we have to guard this place. Grandmaster, you are talking about bearing essence. Since it has become hearing so Lin big, Luoran mentioning his cultivators from Neon and feels aggrieved, right? Grandmaster. As soon as he finishes his words, capital. Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows and laughs. Lin Luoran what a coincidence. It's shameful for a man that we have to act cute. Even when Guanjing and carefully and realizes that she came back which is different from that of Huaxia cultivators. Mrs. Lin, a few minutes later, the logistician comes to report that a member of a shrine from Neon has come to negotiate. Even the honest Rome Donglin skipped work. A few men dressed in traditional Japanese clothes has been working in the Lin family for a year. The leader was a middle-aged man with eyes as sharp as swords with her brother. His temples were slightly white and his face is related to Luo Dong and Huang Weijian, who are studying that he was a person who held a lot of power. According to the reliable news from Yuan Yi, felt a strong coercion shrouding the Lin family. He thought that some old monster from Huaxia came to Shibuya, so he restrained his subordinates along the way to be cautious. Yuan Yi even thought that it might be the bearing essence cultivator who was exposed his hand and take him to the capital. However, when he entered the room, he found that such a strong breath was emitted by a woman who looked in her early 20s. Lin Luoran will never admit that she is interested in gossip. Almost at the same time, he realizes that the seemingly weak woman is Lin Luoran, the rising star of the world of cultivation, and says that she is just concerned about her senior cultivator. Yuan Yi runs away happily, but there is another guest in Lin's house. Of the world of cultivation. As soon as Lin Luoran steps into the house, young Lisha has to put away his arrogance who looks like a sensitive sniffer dog. Senior cultivator. Several
Lin
Nihanese
Luoran
people
doesn't like
salute
Yang
together.
Lisha's bad
Lin
habit of
Luoran
climbing over the
smiles and
wall
says to the
instead of
people
going
around
through
her,
the front door.
"Where are you from?"
However,
"I don't know
Luoran
you."
can't understand how
Saito
shocked
Asada's
Yang Lisha
resolute
is.
chin shakes.
As a monster
"I am the
vying with a
17th
long
master
life,
of the Asada
Yang
family.
Lisha has seen
I
many
serve as the
cultivators.
guard of the shrine."
Although Lin
The
Luoran's
Asada
talent
family
in cultivation
this
is
family
not as
name
good as
doesn't
Yang
leave a good
Lisha's,
impression
she has
on
witnessed
Lin Luoran.
many peaceful years.
It always reminds
If
her of
Lin
Cyan
Luoran's
Little
talent
Fox
in
who hasn't
cultivation
returned
is
home
second.
yet. No one
Sakurako
dares to call
Asada,
themselves the
are
best.
You
Saito
actually formed your
Asada is a
gold
little
core.
uneasy.
Lin
"Yes,
Luoran
it's
almost
my
chokes.
daughter. You don't seem to want me to
went
bear
out
essence.
on a trip a few years
Yang
ago and
Lisha
hasn't
shakes her
returned
head
home
and
yet.
stares at Lin
Senior
Luoran
cultivator,
inquisitively.
do you have anything
Whether
to tell
it is
her?
the trip to Babylon
Lin
in the
Luoran
Tower of
sneers
Babel or the
secretly.
terrifying
When out
speed
on a
of
trip,
cultivation,
she must
the
have come
female
to
monster
Huaxia
is
to
sure
covet
that
the
the treasures
female
of the Green
cultivator,
Mountains,
who should be very
However,
poor in aptitude,
in this case,
must
there
have
is
a big
no
secret.
news about
That
Sakurako
crazy Jiang
Asada.
Shang can't
The
teach
stupid
such an
fox
apprentice.
should not have
To
encountered
be
an
honest,
accident.
I was not on the night
Optimistic
of
about your
Bermuda
plan
in the
to
past.
find Mount
I met your
Panglai.
daughter once.
Your personal
Miss
ability is
Sakurako
too low.
left a deep impression
Even if
on
you
me.
find Spirit Mountain,
Lin Luoran's
you probably
comments are
won't
vague,
be able to
so
enter.
Saito Asada
Lin
doesn't
Luoran
dare to
peels
answer.
an orange.
The
What
atmosphere
about
is
now?
very awkward
Do you
for a while.
feel more confident
Saito
with the personal
Asada breaks
ability
the
of bearing
awkwardness
essence
and asks how to deal
Yang
with this
Lisha
incident.
laughs.
Only young
Luoran
people like
only
you who
says
haven't
everyone
seen the
has their
golden
own
age of cultivation
responsibility,
think
which
highly
makes
of the
Saito
level of
Asada
bearing
a little
essence.
disappointed.
10
Several
cultivators with the
Nihanese
personal
people
ability
soon
of
leave.
yours may not
Lin
be able to
Qingxue
reach
boldly
Panglai.
asks,
However,
"Miss
if you
Lin,
go alone,
why don't you
maybe you
cooperate
can
with
make
them?"
it. It is the
Yang
nature of
Lisha makes
soldiers
Lin
to obey
Luoran
orders
dizzy.
and complete
She
orders
asks
at
the
all
female
costs.
monster again, but she refuses to talk more.
Lin
You have to
Qingxue's
think
order
about
at
it
this
carefully.
time is to
The
cooperate
way
with
back to
Lin
Panglai
Luoran
is
and others
uncertain.
to rescue
When
the
you
lost
decide on the
Huaxia
day of
cultivators.
departure,
Come
in
to the
her
flower
opinion,
shop to find me.
cooperating with the
Of
local
course,
Nihanese
you have
forces
to
can
exchange
improve
the
the
soul
combat
wood.
effectiveness
The
of both
female
sides.
monster walks away
When
after saying
Lin
this.
Luoran doesn't
Looking back
speak.
at Lin's house,
When
as a
Guanjing gives
knowledgeable
Lin
monster,
Qingxue a
she
shushing
believes
look.
in Lin
Among
Luoran
all the
rather
people
than the
here,
personal
maybe
ability
only
of the
he can
level of
understand
bearing
some of
essence.
Lin Luoran's
This
thoughts.
female
They
cultivator
only
had a
care about
tenacity
saving
that wouldn't
Huaxia
give up
people.
until she reached
Even
her
if they
goal, which
cooperate
was
with
rarely
Nihanese
seen.
cultivators,
Lin
it will be
Luoran feels that she
counterproductive
likes
if
this
they are
female
on guard against
cultivator
each
a little
other.
bit. In
They
this
both
world,
have similar
some
obsessions.
forces are destined
Lin
not to
Luoran
trust
hopes
each
her
other
mother
because
can
of
get the
historical
Taoist
reasons,
root.
and she hopes
Huaxia
Void
and
and wake
Neon
up.
are such a
Lin
situation.
Luoran doesn't have time
Lin
to explore
Luoran
Yang
sees that there
Lisha's
is an
mind.
awkward silence
She also
because of
doesn't
her.
want to face the
She
slightly
easily
heavy
invites
topic
everyone
of
to take
when
a
to
medicinal
leave for
bath
now.
in the hotel
She
and wait
you
for
on
the
Yi
arrival
on
of
the
the
plane to the
strange
capital.
7 o'clock.
She hasn't
Lin
informed
Luoran's
Mr. Lin
relaxed
and
attitude
others yet.
dispels a lot
She
of
wants to
haze
keep
in
the
everyone's
surprise
mind.
to the end.
One
Anyway,
bearing essence
Yuan Yi
cultivator
knows the
and two
hotel where
laying
they are
foundation
staying,
cultivators
so he can help
are
them
already
find the
in
place
an
accurately.
unprecedentedly powerful
Far away in
lineup.
the capital,
Thinking
Lin
of this,
Luodong
they
is
feel that
walking
the
on the
unclear
boulevard of the
road
campus
ahead
with
is
a
a
gentle
little bit
girl.
foggy.
Suddenly,
Lord
he sneezes
is the woman
for
just
no
now
reason.
Miss Lin?
He has
Because
a
of
feeling
Lin
that someone has been
too
peeping at
important
him in the
position,
past
the
2
neon
days. World of personal ability has long called her Miss Lin. Saito Asada nods. Yes. I suspect that she has broken through the bearing essence realm of Huaxia's personal ability. What an enviable talent. Because they are not far from the hotel, he does not dare to speak casually. She is more than a talent that makes people jealous. There is such a cultivator in Huaxia who has made successive breakthroughs in just a few years. If the Japanese world of cultivation has such strength, they should destroy her. Saito Asada looks at the Holy Rotorunta Hotel with deep regret. It is a pity that she is a woman. What's more, she is a Huaxia woman. Lord, since Miss Lin has no intention of cooperation, what should we do? Saito Asada smiles. Go back to the Taisha? Yes. The Taisha, mentioned by Saito Asada, is the Hongu Sengen Taisha Shrine, on the top of Mount Fuji. It is a place to worship the gods of Mount Fuji. Above Mount Fuji, nearly 4 million square meters of land outside the mountaineering road and the meteorological observatory belongs to this shrine. Land is scarce in Neon. From here, we can see the status of Hongu Sengen Taisha Shrine. Several people walk on the streets of Shibuya. Young people in weird and fashionable clothes can't help but avoid these people in formal clothes. The busy downtown will not stop for anyone. The flow of people soon returns to normal. Young people are tireless and they don't know that time is approaching. Every evening at 7 o'clock, some of them may become a page of the missing persons file. 4 young people in Shibuya who yearn for freedom, maverick and imitated by others. The detailed events of their lives are just extremely small things that can be described on a piece of A4 paper. If they know that death is so simple, will they still waste those wasted time? On the train to Shizuoka Prefecture, two slightly tired Huaxia teenagers choose a seat by the window. It is an extended evening. It is 49 minutes away from 7 o'clock in Tokyo time. Lin Luodong rubs his eyes and smiles easily. You are really good. You even gave Lucy to Wei Shui. When we go back, they will probably fight. Huang Weijin doesn't answer. He looks out of the window. The high-speed train cuts the countryside of Neon into pieces. He sees the snow on the top of Mount Fuji in the distance. 7 or 8 hours ago, they were still on the other side of the ocean. Now they are on the train to Shizuoka Prefecture. Huang Weijin's expectation under his calm appearance is no less than that of Lin Luodong. No matter what, this was an adventure that belonged to the two youths. However, sometimes because they are too young, they often misjudge the degree of danger. This is the true meaning of life that everyone has to pay for many times to learn. Chapter 350. The hour hand points to 6:50 in Tokyo time. Neon's medicinal bath is also very famous in the world. After taking a bath and eating the dinner carefully cooked by the hotel chef, there are only 10 minutes left before the strange 7 o'clock mentioned by Lin Qingxue. Lin Luoran leads everyone to take the elevator and go straight to the rooftop. Looking down from here, Lin Luoran can have a panoramic view of the tall buildings in Shibuya. She tries to cover the people below with her spiritual mind. The spiritual mind of a bearing essence cultivator is much more powerful than that of a laying foundation cultivator. If she wants, she can extend it to 50 kilometers away. This distance is not enough to cover the whole Shibuya area, but it can cover most of the bustling places where young people gather. Lin Luoran is worried that such a big fanfare will make the person behind the scenes afraid to show up. After thinking about it, she decides to negotiate with Li Shi'er and Wen Guanjing. Li Shi'er's bundling rope stretches endlessly. With the help of the bundling rope, which is like a fishing line, she quietly floats between the buildings above people's heads like a fairy from the ninth heaven. She quickly occupies the far west of Lin Luoran. When Guanjing flies away with his sword and occupies a building in the east. The three of them keep watch from a distance and occupy the whole Shibuya area in an iron triangle. If the Black Hand was able to kidnap someone under the noses of the three of them, then things would be much more troublesome. Time is approaching. Although Lin Qingxue has seen many big scenes, she still feels that the ticking of the second hand on her wrist is like a countdown bomb. She can't help peeping at Lin Luoran, who is standing on the edge of the rooftop. It seems that she will be blown away by the strong wind at any time. From the appearance, how can people know that she is a powerful female cultivator? However, Lin Qingxue admires Lin Luoran's calmness from the bottom of her heart. This is the heart of the real strong, isn't it? Lin Luoran doesn't know what Lin Qingxue is thinking. Compared with the nervousness of others, she is actually a little absent-minded. It is said that cultivators with single Taoist root are rare geniuses in thousands of years. However, their cultivation speed is much faster than that of ordinary cultivators, and their spells are just SOSO. For example, Li Shi'er, who has reached the level of laying foundation, can't even use the most basic wind-riding spell in the level of laying foundation without a flying magic weapon. Then, when he reached the late stage of cultivation, the nascent soul realm, or even beyond that, was the single Taoist root really that useful? In a trance, Lin Luoran feels that the Taoist root of the 5 elements, which is regarded as a waste cultivator, is the most suitable for the reincarnation of nature. Lin Luoran herself feels a little funny. With the Taoist root of the 5 elements, except for people like her who have a cheating device in their hands, it is difficult for people to advance their personal ability in the heyday of spells. Without a long life as support, it is just a joke to explore the Tao of Heaven. Lin Luoran puts aside this whimsical question and forces herself to focus on something else. In her wide spiritual mind, she can sense that Goldie, who is connected to her by blood, is waiting quietly on the rooftop of the seemingly unguarded building in the south. In the streets of Shibuya, in addition to many Nihanese cultivators and policemen, there are also logistics members of the rescue team led by Lin Qingxue. These special forces soldiers could only serve as logistics in the rescue team, but in their field,
Every one of them was a powerhouse in individual combat. Even Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi pretend to be ordinary people and walk around in the crowded places. There is no foolproof security measures in the world. Lin Luoran also knows that it is very dangerous. However, whether it is Mr. Lin or Yuan Yi, their personal ability enhancement is very long. Lin Luoran can't guarantee that they will never be in danger. Only in crisis can one grow up. Lin Luoran silently cheers for her father and apprentice. It is 1 minute to 7 o'clock. In the evening, the lights in Shibuya are on and it is very lively. Danger may be approaching, but at this time, there is nothing unusual. 1 second, 2 seconds, there is no trace of special power. Lin Luoran feels a little uneasy. Half an hour ago, Lin Luodong and Huang Weijin get off at Shizuoka Station with travel bags. Although it is a prefecture, Shizuoka is really not worse than some big cities in China. Shizuoka Prefecture has an international trade port called Shimizu Port, which injects vitality into the economy of Shizuoka. If the economy is good, the popularity will not be bad. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijin are pushed out of the station by the crowd. At the entrance of the station, they bump into a group of 10 Nihanese youths. A Nihanese boy mutters a few Nihanese words that the two can't understand. They don't want to cause trouble in front of so many people, so they want to go their own way. However, a round-faced girl tentatively asks, "Hey, are you from Huaxia?" She speaks Huaxia perfectly. Seeing Lin Luodong stop, she knows that they understand. The round-faced girl is a little happy to meet her compatriots. "Hello, my name is Huang Wan. I am an international student at the Sacred Heart Women's University. These people are from Aoyama Gakuin University." Huang Wan looks a little sly when she smiles, which doesn't quite match her appearance. Even though they have the same surname, Huang Weijin is not interested. However, Lin Luodong is a polite and considerate person. Since they are compatriots, they have to talk to each other. It turns out that these young people from Shibuya are also going to Mount Fuji. Lin Luodong is a little embarrassed. "I heard that Mount Fuji is not peaceful these days. Huang Wan, do you want to go somewhere else?" They meet by chance. Although Lin Luodong is kind enough to remind Huang Wan, these Nihanese students can't help but feel a little angry. Mount Fuji is their holy mountain. It has a special position in the hearts of every Nihanese. Lin Luodong says that Mount Fuji is not peaceful, which makes them feel embarrassed. These people are all male students of Aoyama Gakuin University. It is not easy for them to have a get-together with the girls of the Sacred Heart Women's University. They will not easily give up their plan. Lin Luodong sees that persuasion is useless, so he has to give up. After chatting with Huang Wan for a while, he and Huang Weijin disappear into the crowd. Behind them comes some Nihanese that they can't understand. The two teenagers don't want to talk to these young people from Shibuya anymore. They get on the direct minibus to the foot of Mount Fuji. The female student named Huang Wan seems to know Kung Fu. She doesn't know about the abnormality of Mount Fuji. Of course, you told her. She may encourage these Nihanese students to explore with her. "You are such a good person. Don't be sad." Huang Weijin plays with his bald pen. His words are so mean that Lin Luodong wants to kick him off the bus. That being said, even the last group of cultivators can't solve the disappearance this time. What can ordinary Kung Fu do? Thinking of this, Lin Luodong is a little scared. If my sister knows that we came secretly, she will be angry, right? Huang Weijin stops playing with the bald pen. Thinking of Sister Lin, whose personal ability is getting higher and higher, he is also a little uncertain about the consequences of them coming here without permission. He coughs twice. They may have already gone up the mountain. We will admit our mistakes later. At most, we will be scolded. What are you afraid of? Lin Luodong knows that Huang Weijin won't say things without a reason. He is a little relieved and even thinks to himself that they can play cute for a while. When Lin Luoran finds out that they secretly follow, it will be easy to let go of this matter. The two bold teenagers have never thought that when they arrive at the foot of Mount Fuji, Lin Luoran and the Lin family are still defending in Shibuya. Many twists and turns in this world are caused by such inconspicuous accidents. Not long after they got out of the car, Two cars roared past them, and the laughter of the Nihinese students came. Huang Wan's apologetic face flashed in the rolled-down window, and the two cars soon left them far behind. There are not many people in the evening. The climbing path they choose is really quiet. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian don't know whether to laugh or cry at this inexplicable demonstration. They originally want to ignore them, but God is against them. Suddenly, there is a sudden breaking sound in front of them. In the surprised eyes of the two teenagers, the two cars of arrogant students scream and suddenly become silent. There is nothing on the road. Why are they screaming? The teenagers who don't know anything don't notice that the time when the breaking sound is exactly 7 o'clock in Tokyo. Lin Luodong has a bad feeling. He and Huang Weijian look at each other and run to catch up. They don't care about these Nihinese students. However, Huang Wan is a Huaxia compatriot. If Lin Luoran knows that they leave their compatriot in danger without saving her, they may be more guilty than sneaking here. Lin Luodong even smiles. Isn't this a living opportunity to make up for their mistakes? God really favors them. Huang Weijian, who has a higher personal ability, is not so optimistic. The closer he gets to the two cars that break in the middle of the road, his heart has already sunk. Inside the car, it is clearly the character Huang Wan of Cat Daodu has appeared, scattering flowers. Chapter 351. It's 7 o'clock in Tokyo time. 5 minutes have passed, and every block in Shibuya is lively and orderly. There is nothing unusual. Did they really scare away the manipulator behind the scenes? Lin Luoran purses her lips tightly. She always feels that they may have overlooked some key factors. Where is it? There is a sudden commotion in front of the department store. Many plainclothes are dispatched, and other cultivators form a circle around the chaotic place. However, after pressing a young man with dyed yellow hair to the ground, they find that he is just a thief who is found by the owner of the store for making a scene in front of the department store. Both the Huaxia people and the Nihinese police are disappointed. This is really an ordinary thief. No one is trying to create chaos to fish in troubled waters. The night wind blows Lin Luoran's skirt. The bright neon lights are reflected in her eyes. Lin Qingxue can feel the low pressure from her. The communicator on Lin Qingxue's wrist suddenly rings. She presses a button, and a virtual image of a computer screen is projected in front of her. This is a gadget derived from the research of Yuli technology in Huaxia. It is an encrypted 3D audio and video transmission that cannot be intercepted. If it leaves the wrist of the user without the uninstall password, it will explode within 3 seconds. Lin Qingxue is obviously surprised by the content of the video. She chooses to invite her companions to watch it. In this way, Lin Luoran can also see the content of the video and hear the sound. Before she has time to marvel at the progress of technology, she frowns because of the content of the video. Under the orange street lights, two cars rushing on the mountain road suddenly scream. The sound of sudden braking pierces the tranquility of the mountains. The picture changes. Two extremely fast figures run to the accident car. Their figures are so fast that their faces are blurred in the video. Lin Luoran has already felt that they are familiar. Lin Qingxue pauses the picture and zooms in on the faces of the two people. Lin Luoran feels that the uneasiness she has been feeling is finally reflected. This is clearly Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian. If it were an ordinary Huaxia parent, he would be dizzy with anger and scold the two disobedient teenagers. However, in Lin Luoran's opinion, even if she wants to beat them up, she should find the culprit first. This was a video clip that was only a few dozen seconds long. It started with the sudden scream in the driveway, the sudden braking, and the two teenagers pouncing in the direction of the car. The video ended abruptly. Miss Lin, the video was shot on the second section of Kawaguchi Pass of Mount Fuji at 1900 hours Tokyo time. The time when the video was received was 1905 Tokyo time. There is a 99% chance that the member of the logistics team who shot the video is dead. If he was still alive, there was no way he would have waited 5 minutes for this important video to be sent back.
This was probably an automatic message sent by the communicator 5 minutes after the owner's pulse stopped beating. As a Special Forces soldier, Lin Qingxue has seen her comrades die around her. Her eyes are still wet at this moment. The teammate who controls the number 2 road is Hang Kuan, her friend for 8 years. Lin Luoran can feel the sadness of the female soldiers. 99% chance of death? This should be the cautiousness of soldiers. The logistics special force soldier who recorded the video and sent it back is almost certain that he is dead, as Lin Qingxue said. What happened before he died? Are Luodong and Huang still alive? Time is pressing. Lin Luoran only says, "Sort out his information and give it to me." Then she flies to Mount Fuji on her sword. What she can say is only these feeble words of comfort. Even if she compensates the special force soldier's family later, how can she get a fresh life back? Lin Luoran is not a saint. However, when she thinks that an unknown soldier sent back the news of Luodong and Huang Weijian at the cost of his life, she can't be indifferent as if she doesn't know it. This soldier gave her brother a chance to survive. People are not plants. After a long time of getting along with Luodong, even Huang Weijian, who is awkward with her, is no less important than Luodong in the Lin family. When flying over the building, Li Shi-er entangles the bright sword with the bundling rope and jumps on it. Seeing Lin Luoran's serious look, she has already guessed that something serious has happened. When Guanjing also follows on his sword, leaving Yuan Yi and Mr. Lin in the crowd. Having no time to shock the world, he asks Goldie to dive down. The two of them sit on Goldie's back in the crowded street of Shibuya and disappear into the sky. Goldie spreads its 10-meter-long wings, which make a huge impact on everyone present. Lin Qingxue's communicator rings again. This cautious female soldier is hurt by the pain of losing her comrade in arms. She receives the order to go to Mount Fuji with red eyes. She is in charge of the logistics of this rescue mission. She takes the initiative to order the logistics troops to enter the core of the rescue range without receiving the order from the superior. She will definitely be punished after returning home. However, people are not machines after all. If she is always perfect step by step, she will not be the Lin Qingxue who can shoot the bloodline's head accurately when other people's palms are sweaty. That is the first non-human existence she has killed. Lin Qingxue clenches the magical pistol in her hand. She firmly believes that as long as it is used properly, ordinary soldiers can also defeat this invisible non-human existence behind the scenes. There is a firm look in the female soldier's eyes. Don't go there. Huang Weijian stops Lin Luodong, who is going to check the car. You have to learn to use your spiritual mind. There is no living person in the car. Lin Luodong stops. They are about the same age. In terms of personal ability enhancement, Huang Weijian is a little senior. Lin Luodong is so flustered that he forgets that cultivators can also use their spiritual mind in addition to their eyes. If they can't touch the car, the safest way is to use their spiritual mind. Lin Luodong sees 2 cars colliding with each other. There is indeed no living person in the car. To be more precise, there are only 2 drivers in the driver's seat. They have peaceful smiles on their faces, but they are bleeding from 7 orifices. It seems that before they die, they saw something beautiful that they don't want to share with others, so their smiles are a little weird. In the car, except for the 2 drivers who have stopped their heartbeats and died in a strange way, no matter the Nihinese students who were inexplicably arrogant before or the smiling female student Huang Wan, they all disappear into thin air. From the time we heard the scream to the sudden braking of the car, it has not been more than 30 seconds, right? When Lin Luodong thinks, he is a little like Lin Luoran. He always frowns unconsciously. Huang Weijian nods. 2 living people died in front of their eyes and the students disappeared without a trace. It must be related to the mission of the cultivators from Huaxia. What is it? The clue is right in front of them. Even their compatriots are trapped in it. Lin Luodong's eyes are full of determination. Like Huang Weijian, he can't just sit back and do nothing. Huang Weijian moves his wrist slightly and writes quickly. He writes cursive lines at the end of the pen. He reads slowly, "I want to go back with the wind." His voice and the strokes of the pen affect some kind of power between heaven and earth. In the quiet night, The wind suddenly rises, rolling up the fallen leaves and flowers on the ground. Huang Weijian grabs Lin Luodong's arm and they are blown into the air by the seemingly weak wind. Lin Luodong is a little surprised. He asks, "When did you learn to fly with the wind?" Although Lin Luodong knows that Luodong's Confucianism is a different way of cultivation, cultivators below the level of laying foundation can't fly with the wind. This has become Lin Luodong's way of thinking. However, Huang Weijian suddenly uses a noun and flies with the wind. This is a bit ridiculous. Huang Weijian is so good at hiding it. Huang Weijian ignores him. He changes the strokes of the pen and he and Lin Luodong fly faster. Under the guidance of the bald pen, they go straight to the top of Mount Fuji. If Luodong were in a higher state, he would be able to see that Huang Weijian's cultivation method is not so good. The boy is flying with the help of the magic bald pen. Huang and Luodong are flying with the help of the wind. That is why they are flying with the help of the bald pen. After they disappear, a special forces soldier in camouflage hiding behind the hillside shows up. "Hey, 2 young cultivators from Huaxia are sent here this time?" With the help of the small but powerful communicator on his wrist, the soldier can clearly hear the conversation between the 2 teenagers. Because it is related to the missing people, the soldier is about to send the video to his superiors. However, his body suddenly becomes stiff. No one knows what the soldier sees. The smile on his face becomes brighter and brighter. Then his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose start to bleed. In a few seconds, he dies. His name is Hang Kuan, the deputy captain of the special forces in Huaxia codenamed Guangming. He is 28 years old, single and unmarried. He will sleep on the side of Route 2 of the Kawaguchi Pass of Mount Fuji forever. In the dark night, there seems to be a flash of a gorgeous skirt. The birds on the tree are stunned. When they blink again, there is nothing special on the hillside where the special forces soldier died. Is there something wrong with my eyes? The small brain of the sparrow is not enough for it to think deeply. It is summer and the berries all over Mount Fuji make it even more interested. Huang Weijian controls the wind and lands outside a quaint Japanese-style courtyard. The bald pen in his hand seems to sense something. It is so hot that it almost falls out of his hand. Only the bat monster a few years ago made the bald pen feel like this. Huang Weijian can't help but feel nervous. "Why don't you go in?" Lin Luodong looks at the slightly low Japanese-style courtyard. He doesn't know why his friend is in a daze. Huang Weijian's eyes under his bangs are full of helplessness. Is Lin Luodong the overprotection? Does he have to suffer losses to learn to be cautious? He is not like Lin Luoran at all. The 2 youths carefully looked around and finally found something that looked like a road sign. They can't understand Japanese and the English translation can't express the meaning accurately. Lin Luodong takes out his handheld computer and finds out the meaning of the road sign on Baidu. Honggu Sengen Taisha Shrine? Huang Weijian is stunned. Find out what this place is for. Lin Luodong's fingers slide on the screen and the almighty Baidu tells him the truth. It is a place to worship the god of Mount Fuji. The goddess Kano Hananakuiheim is such a tongue twister. Huang Weijian is angry as if someone owes him millions. He snorts, "No wonder." No wonder what? Lin Luodong is about to ask when a girl's cry comes from the quiet courtyard. It sounds familiar, isn't it the voice of Huang Wan, the female exchange student? Chapter 352. No wonder what? If there is enough time, Huang Weijian must tutor Luodong on the common sense of personal ability. Gods and monsters were inseparable. Many of the ancient mountain gods were self-appointed by the local monsters. Without the order from the heavenly court, these mountain gods would never get rid of their demon bodies. Naturally, the bald pen reacted as if it had seen a monster. Hearing Huang Wan's crying, Huang Weijian is still hesitant. However, Luodong is so excited that he climbs over the low wall of the grand shrine. Huang Weijian is speechless. From this point of view, Luodong is really like his sister. They are both compassionate, otherwise, the Lin family wouldn't have taken him in, would they? However, Lin Luodong has the ability to be a good person. What about Luodong? Huang Weijian has to follow his friend over the wall with grief and indignation. The two teenagers follow the crying and their figures are soon swallowed up by the thick night. Tonight, there is no light at the Honggusengen Taisha shrine. This is a great disrespect to the goddess guarding the mountain. However, these two people can't know this only with the help of Baidu. Deep in the dense forest of Mount Fuji, there is the strange cry of a night owl. Lin Luoran and others land at the scene of the accident one by one. The two cars blocking the middle of the road have caused trouble to other car owners. Some car owners have already called the police after finding the dead bodies. This place will be blocked soon. Different levels of cultivation naturally lead to different horizons. The abnormality that the two teenagers can't find falls into the eyes of Lin Luoran, who is in the level of bearing essence. Obviously, there is a faint evil power left in the bodies of the two strangely dead drivers. This kind of power makes her feel both familiar and completely strange. Is it the power of faith that originates from one but is completely different? The fly Apsara's painted sculpture in Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness is very gorgeous. Some of the flashing faith connection points have quietly extinguished. However, a few light points are not extinguished but become brighter. As time goes by, some people have already forgotten her, the mortal heart fairy, while a few people have become more and more devout. Lin Luoran feels that the small seal of the Dragon King is hot. Lin Luoran is a little annoyed. If she had known this day would come, she would not have taken this seemingly useless, self-apatheizing, seriously. Darkness-type faith power. Little Lin, you're in trouble this time. In the space, Fire Phoenix says lazily. Since Lin Luoran calls it Little Red, it immediately calls her Little Linny. Lin Luoran calls it Little Red. What is the faith power of darkness? This is not the time to care about the title. Lin Luoran pretends that she doesn't hear it. While Li Shi-er and others are looking around, she takes the time to ask the Fire Phoenix. Fire Phoenix cackles. There are good and bad people, and so are gods. There is another possibility. If the source of the power of faith is evil, the Godhead will also be contaminated with the dark attribute. Lin Luoran has a headache. Didn't the unreliable Little Red say that I am the last god in the world? Fire Phoenix sneers. In addition to you, even Huaxia Buddhist cultivators are still cultivating the power of faith. Of course, it is not surprising that someone can use the power of faith for personal gain. Lin Luoran feels a little relieved. Yuan Yi has already strode back. Grandmaster, a body was found at 9 o'clock. He died in the same way as these two drivers. Judging from his equipment, he should be a Huaxia Special Forces soldier operating here. Lin Luoran is shocked. She knows that the body Yuan Yi is talking about must be the soldier who sent back the video but has been killed. Lin Luoran feels that her steps are a little heavy. She walks to the dead Special Forces soldier. The only thing Lin Luoran can do for the time being is to slowly close his eyes. Inform Lin Qingxue and others. By the way, find out what kind of god is worshipped in Mount Fuji. Yuan Yi nods. The search he uses is the internal information of the tribe for cultivators. It is not the general information on Baidu. While waiting for the information to be generated, Yuan Yi contacts Lin Qingxue. Coincidentally, Lin Qingxue also has news to inform them. She does not mention that she is on her way. Instead, she focuses on the latest investigation results. The camera on the way up the mountain captured the passengers. After investigation, the 10 missing people are all young people under 20 years old. They are students of Sacred Heart Women's College and Aoyama Gakuin University. Coincidentally, these two universities belong to Shibuya District. I checked the information of the missing people. These young people are all under 20 years old. It is a little strange. Yuan Yi murmurs, what's wrong with Shibuya? These missing young people are not only under 20 years old. They are either missing in Shibuya or the aborigines of Shibuya. Lin Luoran clenches her fists. Both Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian are under 20 years old. It seems that they happen to be in the age range of these missing young people. If they happen to have been to Shibuya before, there is almost a 100% chance that they are in danger. What have you found? Mr. Lin, Li Shi,
And when Guanjing find nothing, they all gather around. At the beginning of the 9th century, the volcanic eruption of Mount Fuji caused the mountain to become barren. In order to appease the angry mountain god, the local people built a shrine here to worship the goddess, Kanahana no Kyoheim. The Nihanese named it Hangu Sengen Taisha Shrine. Compared with the Yasukuni shrine that often arouses disgust in Huaxia, this place is actually more like the commanding heights of the Nihanese theocracy. Every year, all the big families will send their best children to the shrine. If they can become the grand priest in the future, this family will undoubtedly rise to the sky in a single bound. Lin Luoran takes a few steps in the same place. Saito Asada said he is the guard of the shrine. Does he mean this Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine? Yuan Yi is stunned. His fingers quickly search in the database. Grandmaster, you are right. Saito Asada is not only the guard of the Sengen Taisha shrine, but also a popular candidate for the next grand priest. Is this incident related to him? Lin Luoran's eyebrows are not completely relaxed. She asks, next? Then who is the grand priest this time? Yuan Ye's fingers holding the phone can't help but tighten. The grand priest is vacant. There has been no new grand priest for 5 years. Saito Asada should be the top spokesman of the Sengen Taisha shrine at this time. Although Yuan Yi is meticulous, he can't perceive the remaining power of faith at the scene like Lin Luoran. He can't infer some key points for a while. However, Lin Luoran empathizes with him. Her mind gradually becomes clear. Different from her unintentional apatheicizing, this series of events seems to be that someone wants to apatheicize by faith? No, there are still many key points in such an inference. Lin Luoran thinks hard but still can't understand. Yuan Yi can't help asking, Grandmaster, aren't we going to save Luodong and Lin Luoran? Time is passing little by little. Why isn't the Grandmaster in a hurry? Goldie flies from the depths of the forest and throws a sparrow in front of everyone. The poor little sparrow has already fainted. However, Goldie only catches it as material evidence. He never wants it to be a witness. With the spiritual mind communication between Goldie and Lin Luoran feels that some doubts in her heart are solved. You're saying that it saw a flash of a soldier's skirt when he died? Goldie nods. As the king of birds, this little sparrow certainly doesn't dare to lie to it. Chapter 353. Close to the Pacific coast, about 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, Mount Fuji is more than 3,700 meters above sea level. It is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world. Although it is currently dormant, the earthquake in the waters of Honshu Island of Neon a few years ago also caused an unusual tremor of Mount Fuji. At that time, experts speculated that Mount Fuji would probably erupt because of the earthquake. Somehow, it quieted down again, which made the residents of Shizuoka and Yamanashi prefectures panic. On the top of the high mountain, there is a shrine built for the goddess Kano Hanasakwayan. It is Mount Fuji Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine which rules more than 1,300 Sengen Taisha shrines all over the country. In 1604 AD, Tokugawa Ieyasu built the main hall, the Hall of Worship, the Hall of Coin, and the Hall of Dance, which formed the Japanese-style ancient building complex on the top of Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran leads the Lin family to the mountain aboveboard. Something red like a huaxia archway is called torii by the locals. It is rare to see such a tall gate in such a small place. This is the main gate of Mount Fuji Hangu Sengen Taisha Shrine. Of course, ordinary tourists can't come here at night. However, Lin Luoran leads everyone to swagger here. Because she doesn't hide her personal ability, her arrival has already alerted the owner. Someone comes out with a few paper lanterns, illuminating the newly paved asphalt road in front of the shrine. Saito Asada shows a stiff smile on his serious face. It's late at night. I didn't know you would come here at this time. His huaxia is more sincere than his smile. Lin Luoran also smiles reservedly. The night view of Mount Fuji is good. We wandered far away and came here by accident. I hope we won't disturb you at night, Protector Asada? The conversation between the two is like a meeting between the leaders of two countries. What they say is all dignified and polite empty words. Li Shira looks around with her big amber-like eyes. She doesn't know what's going on with her school sister Lin tonight. In such an urgent situation, she is still polite to these Nihanese cultivators and can't get to the point. When Guanjing is also surprised that Lin Luoran has such a side. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi are very proud of Lin Luoran. The Lin family is always calm. However, he doesn't know how Luo Dong and Huang Weijian are doing. Mr. Lin is a little emotional. He should be the pillar of the Lin family, but his cultivation is not good enough. Now his daughter has to do it. Senior cultivator, if you don't mind, how about coming in and visiting our club? Saito Asada is very humble, so Lin Luoran takes advantage of the situation. The one with the lantern seems to be a servant of the shrine. He is silent all the way. Saito Asada is obviously a humble person. His explanation all the way is a bit dry. There are 2 sun flags fluttering in the wind on both sides of the main hall, which makes Lin Luoran feel a little strange. It was said that in the tens of thousands of shrines scattered all over Nippon, there were many comfort tablets and loyalty tablets. Just like the offerings in the Yasukuni shrine, these so-called loyalty tablets were stained with the strong smell of blood of Huaxia civilians. She even thinks of the blood pool under the Zhongshan Mausoleum in Jinling. It was the blood of hundreds of thousands of civilians that caused the bloody evil Reiki. All these make her slightly uncomfortable. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether her Huaxia compatriots care about such taboo when they come to play happily and write down their wishes on the Emma, which is like a wishing card? Or is she the only one who cares so much about the gray history recorded in the paper? Maybe they are not direct relatives, but they are compatriots with the same blood. They were massacred. Can't such a history make any waves in people's hearts? When Guanjing looks very serious. Even Li Shi is infected by Lin Luoran's sudden solemn expression. Mr. Lin doesn't like these low Japanese-style houses at all. Yuan Yi is smart. He more or less guesses his grandmaster's mind. Lord Asada, can we go and pay a visit to the goddess guarding the mountain? Now that he knows what his grandmaster is thinking, Yuan Yi cleverly changes the topic. There is still no news of Luodong and Huang Weijian, and the Huaxia cultivators who have been lost haven't been rescued yet. Although Yuan Yi also agrees with his young but powerful grandmaster to chop down the holy palace into a pile of wood, at least they have to save people first, right? Saito Asada looks serious. Of course, he has to nod. Since the door is open to welcome guests, there is no reason not to let guests pay a visit to the goddess. As the guard of the grand shrine, Saito Asada's words and deeds represent the face of the Fuji Hongu Sengen Taisha shrine when the grand priest is temporarily absent. To some extent, what he says can also represent the goddess, Kano Hanasakwaiheim, in the eyes of his believers. Lin Luoran really goes to pay a visit to the goddess. Li Shi takes the opportunity to take Mr. Lin and Wen Guanjing to wander around the grand shrine. She moves lightly and jumps over the gate of the courtyard. The waiters who are waiting with lanterns have to keep up with them in wooden clogs. Saito Asada wants to say something, but Yuan Yi asks him about the story of Kano Hanasakwaiheim with a serious face. If he doesn't respond, it will be the evidence that he is not sincere in serving the goddess. This is extremely unfavorable for the election of the grand priest. If he responds, he really can't stop these people from wandering around in the grand shrine and disturbing the goddess. Lin Luoran walks into the main hall. The statue of the goddess in the shrine is made of wood. She closes her eyes and feels the power of faith shrouding the main hall. A wave of black fog almost overturns her small boat. Lin Luoran can't help but clench her fists. The power of faith is all black. What kind of wish do they sincerely pray for every day to gather into the black power of faith? Lin Luoran is so shocked and angry that she forgets what happened in the Jiakang temple. She has not become immortal at the moment. Gods have their own Taoist field. How can she enter the main hall of the Sengen Taisha shrine with Godhead? Before Lin Luoran realizes it, Yuan Yi can't stop Saito Asada anymore. The latter quickly steps into the hall. Lin Luoran can't check it anymore, so she excuses to leave. Li Shile and others also look unhappy. It seems that they don't find anything special. Only the black power of faith with dark attributes in the main hall proves that the Sengen Taisha shrine has an inescapable relationship with the disappearance. However, there is no clue about where those missing people have gone. Lin Luoran and others come and go in a hurry. Saito Asada watches them leave and then asks the waiters to close the door. He returns to the main hall. A black shadow comes out from the thick fog and screams, "Why does she have Godhead? Kill her. We must kill her." Saito Asada is confused. He doesn't have time to ask what having Godhead means. The only thought left in his mind is kill her. It's best to kill a rookie who doesn't belong to Neon. As the most devout believer of the goddess, Saito Asada doesn't resist this order at all. When the door of the main hall is gently closed, he is so muddle-headed that he doesn't find tears coming out of the eyes of the wooden statue on the shrine. Because of the urgency of time, Lin Luoran also doesn't find that the wooden statue on the shrine is still covered with a layer of white power of faith. In the main hall filled with black air, it is just like Lin Luoran's own senses. She is like a small boat in the raging sea, precarious. School sister, there is obviously something strange in the Taisha shrine, but we can't find out anything. Damn it. Li Shi-er holds the bundling rope tightly. She can't calm down at the thought of Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian, who she has watched grow up. Lin Luoran is more anxious than her. However, if she can't find the center of the dark power of faith in the main hall, it will be more dangerous than any battle she has ever fought in her personal ability. Unless it is a last resort, Lin Luoran doesn't want to do something she is not sure about. It will not only be of no help but also harm her family. Luodong, Huang Weijian, and the Huaxia cultivators who are lost, you must hold on. Lin Luoran is secretly anxious. She has to stay calm for the sake of everyone's morale. Li Shi-er is upset, so now we? Lin Luoran summons the bright sword, go back to Shibuya. The missing young people are all related to Shibuya. If she can't find anything on Mount Fuji for the time being, she can only start from Shibuya. This time Yuan Yi rides on the sword with Mr. Lin. Goldie seems to be forgotten by them in a corner of the mountains. Lin Qingxue takes a team of special forces and treks on another mountain pass of Mount Fuji. They are all equipped with the most sophisticated weapons. They are the most disciplined team in Huaxia and the most powerful in individual combat. Corresponding to the dark power of faith in the main hall of the Hongusengen Taisha shrine, their team happens to be called Light. Can the Light Squad really bring miracles? A special force soldier suddenly makes a sound of surprise. Lin Qingxue turns around. What's wrong? The special force soldier chooses to share functions. In the white light of his communicator, many fluctuating lines and values appear in the virtual video. Sir, there were signs of human activity here half an hour ago. Scientific and technological civilization is not without merit. Lin Qingxue clenches the magical pistol in her hand. This is a high mountain about 3,000 meters above sea level. Not far away is the vast snow top of Mount Fuji. How can there be people here on a night when the snow is melting? It is too suspicious. Follow the traces. Their military boots step on the dead branches, making a slight sound. The direction they are heading is a valley full of snow. Lin Qingxue's breath is so light that it can't be heard. She doesn't know what kind of truth she is approaching. Even if she succeeds by luck, she will be punished with glory after returning home. But Lin Qingxue doesn't regret it at all. Chapter 354. Everyone just won't vote until the chapter is updated. If you don't vote after 12 o'clock, the red votes will be wasted. Keeping them won't give you small votes. Everyone should vote as soon as possible. B. What's different about Shibuya? Back to the hotel, Lin Luoran finds that Lin Qingxue and all logistics staff are gone. Lin Luoran's helplessness can't be easily solved by a sigh. She asks Goldie, who stays in Mount Fuji, to use the power of the bird to find them. Lin Luoran's task is not easy. Shibuya District, together with Ikebukuro and Shinjuku, is one of the 3 subcapitals of Tokyo. In fact, it was born in the 18th year of Meiji. In order to connect Akabane and Shinagawa, the Shinagawa line was built and a station called Shibuya appeared. It has a history of only 300 years. There is nothing special about it. Yuan Yi tells them the information he has found. Everyone is inevitably disappointed. Mr. Lin is a man of few words. He suddenly asks, "What about near Shibuya?" Near Shibuya? This is also a good idea. The administrative districts are not always the same. Yuan Yi soon finds the details he wants in the database. Well, in the Edo period, there was a kamaba near Shibuya. It was a place for generals to hunt hawks. This was a field of about 160,000 square meters. In the second year of Kenbao, that is, in 1716, it was designated as a falcon hunting place by Tokugawa Yashimyan. After several changes, the vicinity of Kamaba became a military important place. With the increase of soldiers, military facilities, and visitors, Shibuya Station was gradually formed, which is the predecessor of today's Shibuya district. Lin Luoran gets the point at once. Wait, who designated this place as a falcon hunting place? Tokugawa Yashimyan. Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. The Hongusengen Taisha shrine in Mount Fuji was expanded by a man named Tokugawa Ieyasu. Check if they have any relationship. Yuan Yi looks down and searches. He also smiles slightly. Grandmaster, you are right. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who expanded Mount Fuji, was the first daimyo of the Edo shogunate. Tokugawa Yashimyan, who designated the falcon hunting place in Shibuya, was the 8th daimyo of the Edo shogunate. The two were in power only for more than 100 years. The latter is Tokugawa Ieyasu's great-grandson. Lin Luoran stands up. I think this is the problem. Tokugawa Ieyasu expanded the Sengen Taisha shrine and Tokugawa Yashimyan designated it as the falcon hunting ground. More than 300 years later, a large number of young people here have disappeared, and all the clues point to Fujiyama Hongusengen Taisha shrine. I'm afraid this is not a coincidence. Li's eyes light up. We have been to the Sengen Taisha shrine, but we didn't find anything. What if we can find the falconry hunting ground? Yuan Yi laughs in a low voice. The falcon hunting place has changed several times. Later, it became a military training place. Now, it is Kamaba Park in Shibuya. When Guanjing snaps his fingers, shall we go there now? Lin Luoran nods. Everyone is excited. A plot that everyone has no clue about may be unveiled soon. It is related to the safety of the people they care about. Lin Luoran and others really don't want to wait any longer. Sir, there is no way here. A special forces soldier holding the communicator reports in a low voice. Lin Qingxue and others walk along the traces left by the predecessors for more than 20 minutes. Special forces soldiers walk very fast. After jungle training, the rugged mountain road is no obstacle for ordinary people. They have walked a long way. In front of them is the smoking crater of Mount Fuji. As a dormant active volcano, the smell of sulfur is very strong. The crater of Mount Fuji is not the highest place in the mountain range. The highest place is a place called Sword Peak, which is dozens of meters higher than the crater of Mount Fuji. The traces of human activities disappear under the Sword Peak. In this season, the snow on the top of the mountain has almost melted. There is water everywhere after the melted snow. The whole top of the mountain is smothered by the geothermal heat. Under the alternating geothermal heat, it is very stuffy and humid. Search around carefully. Lin Qingxue orders. Special Forces soldiers search around the crater with the special function of the communicator. In less than 2 minutes, a Special Forces soldier makes a new discovery. So look, in the virtual screen displayed this time, there are not only a bunch of values and analysis, but also a few semi-residual footprints leading to the crater and then suddenly disappearing. After analysis, these footprints belong to 2 different people. They are both over 175 meters tall and about 65 kilograms in weight. They should have passed here half an hour ago. Half an hour ago? Did they disappear in the crater? Lin Qingxue ponders. 2 people come to the crater in the middle of the night. They can't have an appointment to jump into the volcano to commit suicide. They are tall and thin. Isn't it very suitable for the 2 missing young cultivators of the Lin family? It only takes Lin Qingxue a few seconds to think about it.
She has decided to go to the crater in person. As a logistics supply this time, they certainly do not lack things like ropes. However, Special Forces soldiers are against it. Sir, you should let us go down. Sir, He Fei requests to carry out this mission. Sir, Lin Qingxue waves her hand, I will go down myself. If I go down for 5 minutes, He Fei, you are responsible for informing Cultivator Lin and others whether there is an answer or not. He Fei is a thin little man. After hearing Lin Qingxue's order, this new Special Forces soldier who just passed the assessment last year is a little red. However, he can only promise to complete the order. Lin Qingxue stares at him with burning eyes. The little man has to quickly set up a program on his communication device and add Lin Luoran's mobile number. Once the program is set, it cannot be modified. As the master, He Fei can't violate the setting. Lin Qingxue sees that there is no chance to reverse the situation. She finally smiles. She takes out a roll of something like a flashlight from her backpack and presses the switch. The metal nail is drilled into the rock on the edge of the crater for more than 1 meter. One end of the metal nail is connected to the sticky liquid extracted from spider silk. It will become a very ductile rope the moment it encounters space. The diameter is only a few millimeters. The amount of the size of a flashlight is enough for a person holding the liquid rope to jump from the height of Mount Everest without breaking. Good ductility and convenient liquid rope. The technology of Yuli civilization is only 500 years more advanced than that of the Earth. Huaxia can already get a lot of inspiration and progress from it. Lin Qingxue unloads most of the weight on her body. She only takes some very important personal belongings. She even takes the magical pistol in her hand. When she pulls the thin rope and jumps down the crater, she is even a little determined. She is confused about the future and resolute about life and death. Lin Qingxue feels the wind whistling. The strong smell of sulfur and the thick smoke are drilling into her eyes, ears, mouth and nose. She touches the communication device reluctantly. A beam of strong light shines down. In the thick smoke, Lin Qingxue doesn't find the rolling magma. She feels a little relaxed. After a long time, she has seen the flat ground under her feet. It is a piece of brown hard soil covered with cracks. The thick smoke and the smell of sulfur come from the cracks. Lin Qingxue suspects that the cracked hard soil can't bear the huge momentum of her jumping down. She doesn't want to break the soil layer and see the hot magma waiting for her. Lin Qingxue's extremely strong body makes her barely roll a few times on the hot inner wall of the volcano. She lands in a not-so-graceful posture. This is the way to minimize the impact. The temperature here is as high as the inner wall of a fireplace. As soon as Lin Qingxue lands, she feels dehydrated. She pulls the liquid rope to show that she has arrived smoothly. She bites her tongue and tries to contact her teammates, but finds that the powerful communication device has no signal. This has never happened before. The communication device uses a newly discovered medium in the air as the transmission conductor. In theory, it can work normally no matter where it is on the Earth. However, since there are cultivators in this world, there are phenomena beyond the scientific explanation. Lin Qingxue is not panicked. She just wants to find a way as soon as possible. Since people can't be roasted here and there are no corpses on the ground, where are the 2 unknown people who entered the crater more than half an hour ago? There is another passage here. Lin Qingxue gropes along the mountain wall. The high temperature makes huge blisters appear on this special female soldier's hands. However, she seems to feel no pain at all. The exit must be at the bottom of the volcano. It has been 5 minutes since Lin Qingxue arrived underground. Yifang's message has been sent. Far away in Kamaba Park, Lin Luoran is holding a weird statue dug up 50 meters underground in Kamaba Park thoughtfully. Her mobile phone suddenly vibrates. The short and clear message makes Lin Luoran's fingers holding the weird statue tighten. I think the Light Squad has found the right place for us. The strong power of faith of the dark attribute of the weird statue makes Lin Luoran feel that her palm is burning. When Guanjing and others are all very strange. This statue is so lifelike that it is definitely not the image of the goddess guarding the mountain.
Go to the crater of Mount Fuji. Lin Qingxue passes through a thick layer of black mist as if she suddenly comes to another world. Has she unconsciously left the crater and arrived at the foot of Mount Fuji? No. When she came, the snow on the top of the mountain has almost melted. However, the top of Mount Fuji in front of her is still covered with snow. In just a few minutes, of course, she can't cross the season. So where is this? Lin Qingxue is a little confused, but the soldier's nature makes her able to cope with unexpected situations. She begins to explore this somewhat different Mount Fuji. Suddenly there is singing in the bright night. Lin Qingxue quickly steps forward and finds a young man in traditional Nihinese costume, carrying a bamboo basket and picking herbs under the moonlight. Lin Qingxue, who will not change her expression even if Mount Tai collapses in front of her, suddenly widens her eyes. Cultivator Chui, why are you here? Chapter 355. She has been down there for more than 10 minutes? The crater of Mount Fuji smells strongly of sulfur. When Lin Luoran and others arrive, Lin Qingxue has been inside the crater for more than 10 minutes. Fei tells them what they found. Even Lin Luoran suspects that the two footprints into the crater are Luodong and Huang Weijin. School sister Li, school brother Wen, can you two lead the logistics team to guard the crater? Li Shi still wants to say something, but when Guanjing nods. He guesses that Lin Luoran is going to go deep into the crater by herself, but the danger is unknown. If someone blocks her way out, school sister Lin may not be able to return to the real world. School sister Li, let's stay and guard the crater. School sister Lin can go down to find the truth with peace of mind. Li Shi always trusts Wen Guanjing. After listening to his explanation, she immediately nods. Yuan Yi stands with a sword in his hand. Grandmaster, please let me go with you. Mr. Lin doesn't say anything. He is also determined to go down. The Lin family is not the kind of people who only want to share wealth. Lin Luoran is going to take risks. With their personal ability, they can't stay and guard the crater. They might as well take a risk. Lin Luoran nods. To fight side by side with her family, to protect the people she cares about, sometimes the potential of the human body can burst out. Even as a bearing essence cultivator, she can't estimate it. She calls Goldie, who is flying between the mountains. Only then do these special forces know that a golden eagle has been following them and playing the role of secret protection. Without the golden hawk's secret protection, can they reach the crater smoothly? Thinking of this, they suddenly feel the dark night scene makes them feel cold. Lin Luoran takes the liquid rope from Fei and hands it to Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi. Goldie, as big as an ordinary hawk, goes down first. The three of them jump down one after another. Lin Luoran guesses that the temperature under the crater will be very high, so she also raises a water dome for them. The three of them soon arrive at the crater with thick sulfur smoke. Unlike Lin Qingxue, they are all cultivators who can control their strength flexibly. Lin Luoran lands lightly and casts a voice passing to inform everyone at the crater that she has arrived safely. Master, this hard soil layer is very thin. It's not more than a meter thick. There's really the danger of a volcanic eruption here at any time. Yuan Yi gently stamps his feet. The area under the crater is not small, and the place where they are standing is not safe. Lin Luoran smiles. What are you afraid of? Even if someone really wanted to tamper with the volcano's eruption, the ones who would die the most would be the local civilians. We don't have the face to let so many people die with us. Yuan Yi nods. Mr. Lin points to the volcano wall and says, Ran, look, it's not normal here. That was the inner wall of the volcano in the southeast corner. There were traces of magma eruption, and with the addition of sulfur smoke day and night, the mountain wall here was steaming and covered with a layer of yellowish-brown material. It's the sulfur in the form of slabs. There's a scratch here that hasn't been covered by the sulfur, which means that someone stopped in front of this cliff not long ago. Yuan Yi is wrapped in the water dome like a big moving bubble. In the thick yellow sulfur smoke, Yuan Yi takes 2 steps forward and suddenly falls on the mountain wall. This sudden change only makes Lin Luoran hesitate for a second. She opens her hand slightly and pulls Yuan Yi back forcibly. Having experienced this before, Yuan Yi is not afraid. Instead, he looks happy. Master, when I approached the mountain wall, I vaguely saw the overlapping shadows of the mountain. There must be another world behind the mountain wall. Lin Qingxue and Luo Dong probably entered this world one after another. There is another world behind the mountain wall? Lin Luoran pulls Yuan Yi away and puts her hand on the mountain wall. Sure enough, there is a power of faith trying to pull her into the mountain wall. After all, Lin Luoran has the personal ability of bearing essence, and the fly Apsara's painted sculpture is guarding her ocean of consciousness. She has excellent self-control and takes her hand back as if nothing has happened. Maybe there is another world. If Luo Dong and others really go behind the mountain wall, it will be a bit troublesome. Let's go in too. Lin Luoran is afraid that this place is just like the Bermuda secret land where teleportation is random. Therefore, she holds Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi tightly. Goldie also holds her collar tightly. 3 people and 1 hawk take 2 steps forward and are swallowed by the mountain wall together. Billowing sulfur smoke comes out from the cracks of the hard soil layer. Under the soil layer less than 1 meter thick, there seems to be magma rolling not far away. This is indeed an extremely dangerous active volcano. Lin Luoran and others pass through a thick layer of black mist. The white light is so dazzling that the 3 of them can't help but close their eyes. When they get used to the light and open their eyes again, Lin Luoran is still surprised by the scene in front of her even though she has been mentally prepared. The dazzling white light that makes them close their eyes is formed by the reflection of the sun by the snow mountain. Ordinary people will even be in danger of being blind if they look directly at the snow in the snow. The snow mountain is wide at the bottom and sharp at the top. It is a famous mountain that Lin Luoran has seen countless times in geography textbooks and TV dramas when she was in school. She will never mistake it. That is Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran, Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi are standing at the foot of Mount Fuji at this moment. Not far away is the peak of Mount Fuji covered with snow. There are 2 feet of snow under her feet. Only a small amount of frozen hard soil is exposed where the snow has not completely covered. Lin Luoran is wearing the protean dress, so she doesn't feel anything. Yuan Yi and Mr. Lin are wearing summer clothes without armor. They are unprepared and their bare skin is covered with goosebumps. Lin Luoran can't help laughing at the bright snow and the Mount Fuji which has no trace of modern cement. It's kind of interesting. This is clearly a second identical Mount Fuji. She is afraid that not only the night and day in which she lives are reversed, but also the era may be changed. Is it time travel or illusion? Lin Luoran's intuition tells her that this should be a state between the 2. Don't use anything here. Don't touch food or water. Lin Luoran sees a woodman trudging with 2 bundles of firewood in the mountain stream. She reminds Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi. Lin Luoran also takes out the rabbit fur cloak that she made with Sister Wang and Mrs. Lin from the space and wears it over her clothes. In this way, she finally doesn't feel out of place in the same season. Mr. Lin's storage belt is like a small supermarket. He takes out 2 sets of men's cotton-padded clothes and throws one to Yuan Yi. The woodman gradually approaches and Lin Luoran's expression becomes strange. She thinks he is an old man because he can't move easily. However, when he gets closer, she finds that he is a young man with a white face. His face is white and clean. Only his palms are scratched by the firewood. On such a cold day, he is wearing wooden clogs and a pair of white socks are wet by the snow. Yuan Yi feels cold when he sees the young woodman's clothes on such a snowy day. However, his soft skin and tender flesh made him look like a pampered young master instead of a woodcutter. Guests, where do you come from? The woodman is also looking at the 3 people, especially Lin Luoran. The snow-white rabbit fur coat is from the underground world, so it looks more expensive than ordinary fur. The woodman can't figure out her identity. He only feels that she is too beautiful and noble. As for the cotton-padded clothes of Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi and the men's boots on their feet, they are all weird in his eyes. This woman is so strange. She even has a golden eagle with her. The woodman has identified the 3 of them as outsiders. After a simple introduction, the 3 of them can understand his Nihanese. Lin Luoran thinks for a while. She, Mr. Lin and Yuan Ye's clothes are too weird compared with the woodman. They can't pretend to be locals, so they just pretend to be outsiders. Therefore, she deliberately says in Huaxia language, "We are here to see the snow. We got lost." The woodman exclaims, "Are you guests from the Ming kingdom?" His Huaxia language is not very standard. Lin Luoran looks at him deeply. A woodman can also speak Huaxia. Thinking of this, she smiles, which makes the woodman panic. Lin Luoran says she is lost and it is difficult to walk in the snow. The woodman also invites the three of them to his house for a rest. Lin Luoran readily agrees, which makes the young woodman a little embarrassed. He carries 2 loads of firewood and walks in the front. The snow makes it difficult to walk on the mountain road. After walking for about half an hour, they come to a snow-covered cabin on the mountainside. This is a low Nihanese house with white paper on the sliding door. The woodman puts the firewood under the eaves and opens the door to invite Lin Luoran and others into the house. They can't wear shoes full of snow water to go to the house where others sleep. They take off their shoes and walk up in socks. The wooden board is cold. Lin Luoran doesn't know how people living in such conditions adapt to the environment. The woodman is going to boil water. Lin Luoran doesn't plan to eat anything here, so she pretends to ask Yuan Yi to do it. In fact, she has secretly put a lot of rice and noodles into Yuan Ye's backpack. Yuan Ye's storage bag should have water, so she doesn't do anything unnecessary. The woodman thinks Yuan Yi is a servant brought by Lin Luoran, so he doesn't object. Lin Luoran begins to lead the woodman to tell her the truth. When Yuan Yi painstakingly cooks the edible food and serves it, Lin Luoran has confirmed a piece of bad news. This is indeed Mount Fuji in neon, but it is not 2018 AD. According to the woodman, Tokugawa Ieyasu, who represents patience, has just won in Edo. According to later generations, this is roughly the 8th year of Keisho, which is 1603 AD. Tokugawa Ieyasu was appointed as the general of conquest in the first half of the year and opened the shogunate in Edo. At the beginning of the Edo era? If it is someone else, he must be dizzy and think he has traveled through time. After all, Lin Luoran has done this before. She has been to Babylon even further back. The question is, if this is really neon in the Edo era, from whom does this young woodman learn Huaxia language? His Huaxia language is stiff, but it is 100% Mandarin pronunciation. On the other side of the ocean in the Edo era, Huaxia is still in the Ming dynasty. Lin Luoran doesn't think that the Mandarin of the Ming dynasty is the Mandarin of later generations. So, is this a place more like the illusion world? However, the Mount Fuji in front of her is very real. The woodman standing in front of her is definitely not an illusion. She can also tell the difference between illusion and real people. Chapter 356. Lin Luoran, Yuan Yi say goodbye to the woodman without staying overnight. Before leaving, they ask him his name. The young woodman is stunned and smiles, "I'm Sano Matsuoka." Yuan Yi is surprised. He wants to say something but is stopped by Lin Luoran's eyes. The three of them turn a corner together. After leaving the woodman's sight, they change their route and go up Mount Fuji. Master, before the Meiji Restoration in Japan, only the Chinese, the nobles, and the rich had surnames. In the early years of the Meiji Restoration, people like Matsuoka and Yamamoto were obviously people who used their surnames as their residence during the Meiji Restoration. Japanese with surnames are not woodcutters. Lin Luoran nods. His physique is weak and cold. He is not like a woodman who grew up in the mountains. Instead, he is like a flower in a greenhouse. Do you understand what I mean? Yuan Yi is stunned. Grandmaster, do you suspect that he is one of the missing young people from Shibuya? Look at him. He can't remember the past at all. It seems that he was born to be a woodman. Mr. Lin is a man of few words, but his words always hit the nail on the head. It has only been a month since the first disappearance. How can the young Nihanese be born to be a woodman? Lin Luoran thinks of the wooden statue in her space and the strange power of faith with the property of darkness. She turns to Yuan Yi and Mr. Lin and says, "We don't want to forget the past like that woodman. We should always be vigilant and remind each other to stick to our original hearts. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi agree. After a while, the three of them come to the Honggu Sengen Taisha shrine. It has not been expanded yet. Snowflakes are piled up at the gate of the shrine. Although it is a bit shabby, Lin Luoran feels it has the essence of the shrine. Goldie goes to communicate with the local birds and inquire about the news. She sneaks in with Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi. The shrine is still worshipping the goddess, Kano Hanasakwae. Other than that, there is nothing unusual. It seems to be a place of pious religion. Yuan Yi is silent for a long time after coming out. Grandmaster, I wonder if we are in a dream. Oh, why do you have such a feeling? Lin Luoran always pays more attention to her apprentice's thoughts. Yuan Yi coughs. In the Ming dynasty, there were still many bearing essence cultivators in Huaxia. In Neon at the same time, in such an important place as Mount Fuji Shrine, your personal ability is high while my grandmaster and I are only in the period of training Qi. It's so strange that no one in the shrine noticed us sneaking in. Yes, it's so strange. This seemingly flawless Mount Fuji and shrine are just like a flower frame. They lack the foundation they should have. That's why Yuan Yi said it was like a dream. Xiao Jin flew back. The birds here looked dull and couldn't communicate with him. He didn't get any useful clues and returned empty-handed. Lin Luoran agrees with Yuan Yi more and more. All this is like a dream. She lowers her head and thinks, let's go to Edo and have a look. Edo was later known as Tokyo. From the first generation of the Tokugawa shogunate until the Meiji Restoration, Edo was the political center of the Tokugawa shogunate for more than 200 years. But in the early years of the Edo shogunate, Edo was still an ordinary small town. Walking on the street of Edo, Lin Luoran, Yuan Yi, and Lin Luoran are dazzling. Their attire, which is different from that of the people of that era, is also eye-catching. None of the three of them will wear Nihanese clothes. They turn a deaf ear to those inquiring eyes. Nihanese people have no advantage in height, let alone the people of Edo 400 years ago. Lin Luoran is a woman, but she is 1.7 meters tall. Walking on the street, she can look down on most people. Of course, there are exceptions. A man in a plain white samurai suit is particularly eye-catching because he is very tall and familiar. Yi Xiaobei. Yuan Yi will never forget the lucky guy who came to Lin's family to get the foundation-laying bolus. Even Lin Luoran recognizes this young man. He is Yi Xiaobei, whom she met a few years ago. At this moment, he is like a noble son of Edo with a long sword on his waist. He doesn't look like a cultivator or a little otaku at all. He is shining and outshines other samurai or ronin on the street. Hearing someone calling Yi Xiaobei, he turns a deaf ear to it. When he passes by Lin Luoran, he even looks at Lin Luoran frivolously. In the past, this otaku cultivator would not dare to be so frivolous to Master Lin, even if someone puts a knife on his neck. Yuan Yi is so angry that he wants to beat this guy. He is stopped by Lin Luoran. He must have forgotten who he is now. It is such a coincidence to meet an acquaintance. Let's follow him. Seeing that Yi Xiaobei is well-dressed, Lin Luoran has guessed many places he may go. However, she never thought that it would be a remote alley. There are many people dressed as samurai around the door of a house, saying something like, Yukiko. The sound of stringed instruments and singing comes faintly. It seems to imply cherry blossoms. There is a red plum tree in full bloom inside the wall. Under the snow, Lin Luoran suddenly understands where this place is. The fireworks alley from ancient times to the present. It really has the same style regardless of region or country. Yuan Yi is shocked. Yi Xiaobei, you brat, actually comes to a brothel. Lin Luoran kicks him. Who comes to a brothel in the daytime? This should be a place for kabuki performances. Yuan Yi is very sad. Yi Xiaobei really has no moral integrity at all. He wears a samurai suit and comes to watch a kabuki performance excitedly. A fake masked man, with a face painted white and a mouth that was slightly red, walked out in small, bashful steps. She is wearing a black skirt with red edges. It is much more complicated than a modern kimono. As soon as she starts to speak, her throat feels like being run over by wheels.
Lin Luoran knows that this gorgeously dressed woman is not young. She says a lot in a pretentious tone. The gist of it is that Yukiko is still dressing and she asks the guest to wait. This is a very obvious way to increase her value. Yi Xiaobei seems to be impatient. It seems that he values Yukiko very much. The rest of the samurai are also impatient, but they have to endure it. Lin Luoran and the other two are also watching quietly. The fake mask woman with a snow-white face looks at Lin Luoran from time to time. She looks at Lin Luoran's face secretly. This may be her occupational disease. When she sees a beautiful woman, she always thinks whether she will be popular if she performs kabuki. However, Lin Luoran is noble. The fake mask woman also knows that she can't think about Lin Luoran. After a few glances, she is disappointed and gives up. After waiting for half an hour, a few white-faced geishas come out with small steps. They are surrounded by a group of samurai and go in. Lin Luoran and the other two also go in with the crowd. They are stopped by the fake mask woman who looks like a brothel keeper. Women can't go in? Probably the truth is that women without money can't go in. Lin Luoran sees many samurai throw a small ingot of gold to the fake brothel keeper. She doesn't bring gold or silver, but there are many other valuable things in her space. Lin Luoran takes out a small raw jade stone from her space. When she hands it to the fake mask woman, it turns into a transparent jade ring. Jade and gold should be the common currency in ancient Asia. The fake masked man retracted his hand that was blocking them, and his attitude became respectful. Taking dad to a brothel? This is a new experience. Although they are here for business, Lin Luoran is still a little embarrassed. Paper doors are pulled open. It turns out to be a large room. The long room is divided into small rooms by screens. Lin Luoran chooses an inconspicuous position. She only needs to see Yi Xiaobei. A geisha comes to pour wine. Lin Luoran casually throws the jade left when she just made the ring to her. She is a very generous guest. If Lin Luoran is not a good-looking woman, the geisha will stick to her. It is the kind of Nihanese folk music with a cherry blossom tone. A tall geisha in red clothes with many hairpins is supported out. The white powder on her face is much thinner, but her facial features can still be seen. Lin Luoran guesses that she is the so-called Yukiko. She glances at her and is so shocked that she almost knocks over the wine on the table. Lin Qingxue. Yukiko looks at her. Unlike Yi Xiaobei, who is completely indifferent to her name, she has a lot of confusion in her eyes. The masker can tell that Lin Luoran is a troublemaker. She warns her with an unkind look. Lin Luoran ignores her. Lin Qingxue, what are you doing in this dress? Samurai draw out their swords to protect their goddess Yukiko. The masker also asks others to help Yukiko down. The screen is accidentally knocked down by the geishas. One of Yukiko's sleeves is torn off, revealing a healthy wheat-colored skin. The name Lin Qingxue is engraved on her wrist with an unknown tool. It is clear and distinguishable. My name is not Yukiko. Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue hasn't completely forgotten her predecessor because of the short time and her strong willpower. Seeing her real name engraved on her arm, she struggles to rush to Lin Luoran. Inform Cultivator Lin. Inform Cultivator Lin. She is obviously very emotional. She doesn't recognize the three people in front of her. She just subconsciously wants to bring the news to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran sighs. She knocks her unconscious and asks Yuan Yi to carry her away. Yi Xiaobei holds a long sword and shouts, "Put down Yukiko." Lin Luoran turns her head. Who are you? She is afraid that Yi Xiaobei can't understand Huaxia in this state, so she deliberately speaks Nihanese. Yi Xiaobei raises his chin. Tokugawa Makita. Interesting. His surname is Tokugawa? Lin Luoran chuckles. Knock him unconscious and take him away. Yuan Ye's figure is like a ghost. He grabs Yi Xiaobei and Lin Luoran takes the unconscious Lin Qingxue. They swagger out of this place with the two of them. The masker seems to be suffering from osteochondrosis. She can't stand steadily. It's over. It's over. The son of the Tokugawa family has been kidnapped. A geisha reminds her in a low voice, and Yukiko. The masker who is suffering from osteochondrosis wails and passes out completely. Chapter 357. I wish everyone a safe Christmas Eve. I hope everyone can be with me on the next Christmas Eve and the Christmas Eve after that. When Tokugawa Makita wakes up, he finds himself on a swing. This world is also different from what he has seen. The cold wind mixed with snowflakes rushes to his neck. Tokugawa Makita finds that he can only see the roots of trees. It turns out that his legs are tied and he is hanging upside down in the dense forest. Faint voices of conversation are brought to him by the wind. He tries to raise his neck and finds that the people who caught him have set up a low table on the hillside and are making tea in the snow. Snowflakes all over the sky fall on the dark branches. A wild red plum blossoms, and the beauty who is pouring water with her bare hands are shining. Usually, this is a very elegant thing in the upper circle of Edo, provided that he is sitting next to the beauty instead of hanging upside down in the cold wind. The dignity of a samurai does not allow Tokugawa Makita to beg for mercy. He just stubbornly wants to break free. However, the thin rope tied to his body is like spider silk. The more he struggles, the tighter it gets. In the end, he almost suffocates. He simply stops moving and swings like a hanging sausage. It quiets down. He hears the low conversation on the hillside over there. Some of it is blown away by the wind. It is intermittent in his ears. Tokugawa Makita doesn't have time to think about it. These people are not speaking Nihonese. Lin Qingxue has woken up. The typical Edo Oiran clothes are torn by her. As a Huaxia female soldier, she will not wear Nihonese kimono. Lin Luoren finds a dress in the space for her. Lin Qingxue wears thin clothes on a snowy day, but it seems that she doesn't feel cold at all. Aren't you cold? Lin Luoren makes an omelette for Mr. Lin and rolls some vegetables for him. Lin Qingxue shakes her head. No, the snow is fake. Lin Luoren nods. This special female soldier is more strong-willed than she thinks. When did you know that everything here is fake? Even her clear eyes can't see through the illusion. The realistic Edo period is really a big deal. Lin Qingxue holds the tea and takes 2 sips. The tea is warm and she feels much calmer after drinking it. A moment after I came in, I saw cultivator Chui Hejin. He actually said he was a medical officer of the Edo shogunate. I followed him to Edo and walked for more than a day. After drinking the water from the stream, I felt dizzy. For a while, I couldn't even remember why I had come here. I became vigilant and didn't want to eat the food here anymore. I happened to meet cultivator Yi Xiaobei. He told me that he was the second son of the Tokugawa family. I guessed that this place could help people forget their past and live as if they were dreaming. In order to remind myself, I carved my name on my arm. Even so, Lin Qingxue smiles bitterly. Even so, I still forget my real self unconsciously. Occasionally in a trance, I feel that I am really a geisha who has learned singing and dancing since childhood. Lin Luoren smiles faintly. Do you know how long you have been here? Lin Qingxue is surprised. It's been half a month. Otherwise, I can't learn those weird performances. Lin Luoren shakes her head and suddenly asks the eavesdropper who is swinging on a branch, how long do you think she has been in Edo? Hanging upside down for lack of oxygen makes Tokugawa Makita's face turn red. He says angrily, what did you do to Miss Yukiko? She is the best taifu in Edo and she has been performing on the stage for a year. Taifu is a special title for the most senior brothel girls in the Edo period. Even the top courtesan is inferior to it. Taifu is a bit like a performer or a senior social butterfly. Lin Luoren spreads her hands. You said you have been here for more than a month. He said you have been performing on the stage for a year. In fact, we followed you soon after you entered the crater of Mount Fuji. Including the delay time, we have only met for 2 hours. 2 hours. Lin Qingxue is stunned. What kind of dream is this? She has only been here for 2 hours. In a trance, she really feels that she has lived a completely different life. Here, she is called Yukiko, a geisha who has learned singing and dancing since childhood.
And the reason why you still vaguely remember who you are is that you have never been to Kamaba Park in Shibuya. Kamaba Park? Lin Luoran nods but doesn't say much. Lin Qingxue comes here to be a geisha. Yi Xiaobei thinks he is the second son of the Tokugawa shogunate. Cui Hejian, the cousin of Fatty Cui, thinks he is a medical officer. What about Luo Dong and Huang Weijian? If she can't find the key point of the dream, Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi may lose themselves after a long time even though she has the power of faith to support her. The key point of the matter starts from Tokugawa Ieyasu's expansion of the Hongusengen Taisha shrine in Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran knocks on the table and looks at Yi Xiaobei, who is blowing sausages in the wind. Yuan Yi knows his master's intention and says, "We are going to ask General Tokugawa for ransom." It is really funny. He suddenly has a father. His grandmother will beat him to death when she goes back. Yuan Yi says it casually. Tokugawa Makita shrinks his neck. He doesn't know what these outsiders are thinking. The second son has been caught? Nonsense. A middle-aged general with a white face and black clothes smashed the valuable porcelain of the great Ming dynasty that had been transported across the ocean. "General, I am incompetent. I deserve to die. I still can't find out the whereabouts of the second son." He is wearing wooden clogs with only a small bun on the top of his head. This is really not a heroic dress. Tokugawa Ieyasu is not very tall, but he has a dignified momentum of being in a high position for a long time. Seeing that he is furious, these samurai are all trembling. This subordinate thinks, could it be the doing of Function's family? Tokugawa Ieyasu is silent. At this time, he has just established the shogunate in Edo and the Toyotomi family still occupies a large position. Their strength can't be underestimated. If it is the Toyotomi family, why do they kidnap Tokugawa Makita? Tokugawa Ieyasu has no shortage of sons. He will not stop to unify the world because of the son of a concubine, even if this is the second son he has always valued. Toyotomi Hideyori is only 11 years old. It must be the order of his mother, Yodo Jun. What an ignorant woman. Tokugawa Ieyasu is not in a hurry. No one knows what he is thinking. The samurai wait for a long time but don't get the order to rescue the second son. They can't figure out General Tokugawa's thoughts and their necks are sore. As for Toyotomi Hideyori, General Tokugawa calls him, he was the master of the world a few years ago. Tokugawa Ieyasu can despise this 11-year-old boy, but these samurai can't say anything. "General?" A servant stumbles in and almost knocks down the beautifully made screen of the Ming dynasty. "General, there are 2 men and 2 women outside the mansion. They are the ones who caught the second son." Tokugawa Ieyasu is furious. As soon as the servant finishes his words, the 2 men and 2 women have broken into the yard. The samurai rush out in wooden clogs and guard Tokugawa Ieyasu. As soon as Tokugawa Ieyasu steps out of the hall, a bullet whizzes toward his forehead. The samurai beside him shouts and draws his sword horizontally. The speed is so fast that it really cuts the bullet. However, the magical bullet contains the power of frost and is indestructible. It breaks his fine steel sword and flies out. The bullet pierces the samurai's shoulder. Most of his body is covered with frost in a blink of an eye. He is stiff and can't move. The first bullet shot by Lin Qingxue is still in the middle of its flight when the second bullet arrives. The samurai are still cautious about the first hidden weapon. Lin Qingxue's second bullet is irresistible and shoots Tokugawa Ieyasu between his eyebrows. Good marksmanship. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi have never seen Lin Qingxue's heroism of being shot in the head by a bloodline. They sincerely praise her. Lin Qingxue's face is still calm. She is no longer the recruit whose face is flushed with excitement after shooting a bloodline a few years ago. "General Tokugawa." "General." "Father." Tokugawa Ieyasu is shot between his eyebrows. He falls to the ground and can't get up. The samurai all look at him angrily with swords in their hands. More family slaves and samurai come from the far door to catch the murderer who killed General Tokugawa. However, those who rush up are all blocked by an invisible barrier. Those samurai slash furiously with swords, but they can't break the defense of the protective shield at all. Tokugawa Makida's eyes are about to burst. He stares at Yukiko, whom he once deeply loved and wants to swallow her alive. However, his whole body is stiff like a marionette. Looking from inside, those family samurai swords and sabers are all slashing on a light shield. They can't catch these murderers at all. Evil magic, you are monsters. Tokugawa Makida is out of his wits. In such an atmosphere, Lin Luoran smiles unkindly when she thinks of the difference in status of Tokugawa Makida. Your father is the monster. Her words are too hateful. Tokugawa Makida changes the target he wants to kill with his eyes from Lin Qingxue to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran points at Tokugawa Ieyasu on the ground. Look carefully. Look carefully at what? A servant exclaims. Tokugawa Makida can't help but look sideways. His eyes burning red with hatred suddenly open as if he has seen something incredible. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who is shot between the eyebrows, stands up with the help of a pillar with a dark face. The center of his eyebrows is not covered by frost. The deep bullet wound only leaves a small black hole without a drop of blood. Moreover, under the witness of Tokugawa Makida, the wound is healing slowly. What's going on? How can people not be killed? Yi Xiaobei, open your eyes and look. Is this undying monster in front of you your father? Lin Luoran says the last sentence, is it your father? Because of the power of faith of the dark attribute in this place, the fly Apsara's painted sculpture in the ocean of consciousness looks kind and there is a little white light flashing between its eyebrows. The crystal clear power of faith is contained in its words unconsciously. If Lin Luoran pays attention to the ocean of consciousness at this moment, she will definitely find that the sudden burst of light is the tear left by her and Momo. Is it your father? Some pictures flow back into Tokugawa Makida's mind. A small black box is connected to the boundless world by a wire. This is a computer. It's so strange. How does he know this thing? A mansion built in the mountains, a family of cultivators with almost no successor, a strong grandmother and a weak father. Is it your father? No, my father is the 63rd descendant of the Yi family in Zhu Mountain. He is Yi Dingjin, who deeply blamed himself for the decline of the Yi family because he had no Taoist root. Yi Xiaobei squats down with his hands on his head. One is the second son of Tokugawa Ieyasu's concubine and he has been doted on since childhood. The other is the only son of a declining family of cultivators and an ordinary young man who is somewhat a homebody. Two completely different lives were mixed up in his mind. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.